All right, all right. I am late. Oh, right at the 5 minute mark. That's my threshold. Am I late? Am I even going? Let's check. We got one. Oh, I'm so sorry about that. Excuse me. We got one. Uh-oh. We got one. We got two. Got a glitch on kick. See the code. That's not never good. Error blocked by security policy? Are we wait, we not on kick? Maybe we just doing the Texas two step. So then let's check kick. It's still not working. What? Well, I don't know what's going on with kick. I'm gonna give it another try. Hey, Cotton, Pater. I don't know. I guess we're not kicking it. Try the um, whatever. Firefox. Yes, I still have Firefox. I got Chrome too, but I'm trying to make sure.
Realmente lo
Vale.
dijo.
Oh, okay.
Ahora dibujar.
No. I'm just trying to make sure we're still on. Does not look like we are. Okay. Let's see. Create dashboard. Okay. After all that, we are indeed good on all three. So, I'm going to ask a question. It took me a while to answer. And that's are we live? I said, are we live? Looks like we are. VigilanteWilliamson here. The 189th episode of VW Casual. Appreciate you being here. I'm here earlier, but still late. About time. Yeah, I was a little late. But hey, I'm here a few hours earlier than I usually am. So I caught a few more people. So I see Real Wade, Cotton, and of course the oppressive sentient dildo. Pause. Don't pause. Pause is not part of the name. Just sentient. Appreciate y'all being here. What do you want to talk about? There's Weird Erica Kirk in a skit. There's Guess March Madness. Baseball just started. If you into the foosball, the sports ball. What else happened? There was something else that was kind of funny, but I can't think of it. Oh well. I don't know. I'm doing good. I hope everyone else is. Did not hit up the gym yesterday, which is not good. Noah High loss. I don't know what the hell that is. Well, I'm about to find out if it's unrelated as I Google. I've been trying to look for the non-goy slop version of Coca-Cola. Apparently, there's like a kosher version. I don't know if they have it around here. I guess this was related. I guess this was related. The Jewish tradition of the commandment by God to Adam and Noah for all humanity include prohibitions against idolatry, blasphemy, murder, theft, sexual immorality, eating limbs from live animals, and a positive required to establish course of justice. Well, they don't sound that bad. They sound pretty good. These seems positive. It's coming to Texas. Might want to look it up. I see. Hey, Fizz, appreciate you being here. Well, I mean, I wasn't planning on eating any live limbs. Huh. Let's see. Like I said, if I gotta do this, can I please get some non-goy slop food? I'm looking for kosher food and kosher snacks. Apparently, there's a thing, and it's like, well, I want the stuff that y'all. I don't want the goy slop. I want the good stuff. Preaching Christianity is a big no-no. Can't get everything. Can't get everything. It says Governor Greg Abbott joined the Young Jewish Professionals. I don't have fake books, so it's not letting me in. So we'll see how this goes. And I mean, I don't know. I guess we'll see how this gets put into Texas. It is weird to see. Um, I don't know. Do you? I mean, I listen. How do I put? I know how to put this. It's weird to see conservatives cuck so hard for Israel and for everything. Listen, I'm trying to get some non-goy slop pop. Oh, it's not bad with these people, but I'm not trying to just do it. It seems like there's a lot of bending over backwards, man. I just got a new vape, by the way, so you might be hearing that. I'm trying to do better. So we're vaping, but it's still flour. Oy vey. Oy vey is right, man. Do I still have religious freedoms protected by the Constitution? And listen, the Torah, the Old Testament, is part of the Bible, and you're supposed to keep the statutes and commandments to the best of your ability. Now, you read a lot of them. A lot of them is like, sacrifice this or this. It's like, okay, I don't think that practicality is necessarily needed, or use this much of your farming land. Like, a lot of that stuff, I think is out. But still, man, it's like, this doesn't have to be. It doesn't have to go this way. You know what I'm saying? But was this ever a Christian nation? Question mark. I don't know. Certainly hasn't been in a while. MAGA has been hijacked by the globalist agenda. The only important thing is the success of Greater Israel Project. That's what it looks like. We saw the left get hijacked by the globalists, and the second 2024 happened, you start seeing all these globalists put on red MAGA hats. Speaking of the group, member Zuckerberg, who we don't think of, but he is. First thing he do is basically put on a MAGA hat and start talking to Joe Rogan. It's like, what the fuck is this? There's a lot of strange shit with the MAGAs, man. Y'all are peculiar people. Send me a palate cleanser. Okay, we'll check it out. Oh, we got a bunch of stuff. We'll check it out in a second. Real wait. But the reason I say that is like, I talked about it a little bit yesterday. And I mentioned a little earlier with the Erica Kirk thing, right? That bitch is strange. That whole situation is strange as fuck. But when it happened, all you could hear is, oh, I can't believe the left reacted this way. And yeah, okay, there was some fucked up things. But what about Trump? They ask him, hey, what's going on? I know Charlie just died. And he's talking about the dining room and shit like that. And then this bitch can't wait to come out like a fucking wrestler and get her. It's like she couldn't wait for the moment to be famous. And it's like people have said, she's madder at Drewski than the guy who killed her husband. She's strange. She seems like she's capitalized on his death, and I don't know why that's a crazy thing to say. I don't know how they ain't got themselves so close-minded. You can't say when you can't say obvious, logical statements around somebody without them being offended, something's wrong. She's weird. She's creepy. That's why we're making fun of her, because it's fucking strange. She doesn't react like a person normally would given this tragedy. She's reacting like a fucking sociopath. Okay? And the fact that we all can notice it doesn't mean we hate white male men or anything. It just means she's fucking weird. Women, question mark? Because a lot of people say women in general don't give a shit and they just looking to exploit their husbands anyway. I don't know. But she's fucking weird. And this, I can't say anything, or you're not supposed to say. And no, fuck that. Hopefully we're done with that. Hopefully we're long enough. It's been long enough. She's a weird bitch. And MAGAs are culty. And it's getting really creepy because it's just K for Orange Man, yell at liberals. And it's like, we ain't got time for that. I do see AI is dying. That's cool. So hopefully at the end of the year I'll be able to build a computer. Because AI is dying a death. Apparently, is it Chat GPT? GPT is going out, or they're close to going out of business. I think it is. So that's cool to see. Let's see if I can pull up. Oh, first, oh sheesh, what's these anti? The hell's going on here? Okay, first let's get whatever's going. Oh, you in Chicago, Wade? Chirac, O Block. Yeah, O Block. What's the other one you sent? Streamception, but whatever. Oh, this is just different clips from different places. I thought you was in Chicago. Is that it? Where the hell are you, Wade? I thought you was in Tennessee. First off, I thought you was from Tennessee. Now you see in Chicago. I don't know where the hell that is. A lot of mountains in the back, though. Or are these clips from other places? What the fuck's going on? I'm lost. Hey, what has? Oh, it's AI. Okay. Oh, AI equals actually Indian. Yeah, that's a thing too. I forgot about that. He was gone for 3 weeks. Ooh, sorry about that. Hated what has too large, make has tiny again. Oh, jeez. YouTube is censoring. Oh, jeez. Hold on a second. I'll be right back. Thank you guys for saying bless you. Said tree jizz, pause. Guess it is what pollen is, isn't it? Plant jizz. So you was traveling. Oh, I'm glad you had to travel then. Shit, you was traveling around. Doing vlogs and shit. That's dope. That's dope. I need to get some traveling. But shit, good luck. Hopefully you did it before this speaking of politics, this damn TSA bullshit. Shit, you trying to, especially Texas airports have been looking crazy online. Whether it's Austin, Houston, it's fucking crazy. London was safe. So you were in London. He said you don't get stabbed out in London. How was Chicago? All right, you went to London and Chicago. Those are kind of notorious cities right now. Didn't deal with TSA. That's dope. How was both of those cities? Or were you just in London? If you were just in London, maybe you had to go through Chicago. I think you're from the Nashville area. Chicago would say, it's okay. Real way say motherfuckers is lying. Go further, right? Listen, if you want to join some white supremacist group, do it, bro. I don't know what you meant. We not about to join. Nobody could tell Cotton. We won't know. Just do it. Like if that's what you want to do, you get one time do this motherfucker. If that's what you want to do it. You know what I mean? Shit. You might like it, you might not. You might, man, these motherfuckers is crazy. I don't know. Hopefully I'm not allergic to this vape. I just got it. Shit. That's it. My science is always trash. Okay, to drive to Florida boat to Portugal. Drive to Florida. Is that what you wait? You said drive to Florida, boat to Portugal, Morocco to Spain to London, fly to Chicago, drive home. Is that really? Boat was a 15-day cruise. Whoa. That's crazy. I didn't even know that was a thing. That you could go from fucking Florida. I mean, I don't know. I just didn't know that was a thing. How was the cruise? I've been wanting to go on. I went on one cruise and it was cool. I'm wanting to go on another cruise. But I mean, that shit's, going across the Atlantic don't necessarily always work out for my people, so I don't know. It was either fly from Chicago for a 9-hour flight. Oof. That don't seem fun. I mean, if the cruise is cool, the cruise is cool by itself. Everyone thinks you should pick a team. If I do that, it won't be Democrat, Republican. So I tried to pick Libertarians, but they ain't worth a damn. Ain't no teams, man. It's just us. It's just us against them. And they beating our ass. But they beating their own ass, too, with some of the dumb shit they do. So they just fucking up humanity for no reason. That's all it really is. Just a bunch of rich idiots fucking up humanity for no fucking good reason. Just straight up. Just fucking up their own shit for no good reason, too. See, it's the only good choice. See, that's the operative word is choice. When you get two choices, you pick one of them. Which I respect either way. I mean, I don't know how anybody was supposed to vote. I still don't know what platform Kamala was running on. I still don't to this day what she was doing. I guess she was going not refund or not wipe off college debt just like Biden did. Not. I don't know what she was going to do. But, I mean, whatever. You know what I mean? Chose Romney. Whatever. I mean, all these people, they work for, they work for who, and just work for the highest bidder in general. They're mercenaries. They're mercenaries. They work for hire. Yeah, lesser of two evils of being complicit evil. My thing is, I don't have to make a choice. I don't have to choose between these two. I can just choose not to. I don't have to participate in this farce. Because I don't think, listen, I don't think that if we were dealing with, if Kamala Harris was in the White House, I don't think that we would not still have a lot of the same issues that we had. I don't think the economy would be any better. That's not to say, for somebody who thinks that this is still a right versus left thing, you just came for the, like, no. They're the same team, motherfucker. It's the same team. It's the same people, okay? They're all neocon, neo-lib, somewhere in between that cucks. Speaking of cucks, Dan Blazarian is apparently running in Florida. Speaking of cucks, see? It's that we're on the same page. We're all on the same page. Dan Blazarian, is he the one rich guy with these goofy hoes? Oops. This shit is hitting, though, because I'm fucking up. I don't know what I'm doing. I think I know who he is. What's this? In just 2 days, humanity may be heading back to the moon. I'm lost. Are we really going to the moon? So it was either fly to Chicago for a 9-hour flight or 21-hour layover. But I'm still talking about the Air Canada crash. Oh, what the fuck? See, that's why I don't see. This is perpetuating stereotypes, but you're not supposed to mess and harass things. Oh hell no! I don't even want to show this on the screen. I'm just show the caption. It's paranormal investigator Dan Rivera dies at 54 while traveling across the U.S. with a real haunted Annabelle doll. Is this a real story, real way, or is this some real AI slop? That thing does look demonic. I'm not gonna show it. I'm about to put a curse on y'all. We are going back to the moon. Now that's wild. Allegedly. Put Wi-Fi on the moon. Put a Starlink on the moon. Do some cool shit. If the moon is real, prove it. Put a light show on that bitch. You know what I'm saying? Because we supposed to be way advanced. The plane crashed and the fire truck LaGuardia. I did see that. Is that what you're talking about? I did see that. UT block what emotion? Oh, the Juicy Juice box, we'll call it. That's what it used to be, but before. Looks like it ain't there because I don't see shit. But for until the past 4 years, it was just a Juicy Juice box. Yeah. So you sending what's this? Wade sending me a wild stuff. So okay. So I guess the CEO of Air Canada is stepping down. Man, apology for the fatal LaGuardia crash. Is this real stuff? What is this? New York Post. Man, y'all can suck my dick. Can I get? Well, I guess we're not about to find out. Fuck him. But it's on the New York Post. Guess he is stepping down because everything wasn't in France. Is that the real reason, or was there more shit to it than that? Sounds some crazy shit. Kit Kat was stolen. I keep seeing shit on Kit Kat. I didn't understand it. Yeah, that looks crazy. It looks like a little bit, how fast was it going to hit the fire truck that hard to look that fucked up? I mean, shit. Like his guts exploded. It looks crazy. Like fucking how did something's crazy. Yo, right? Same plane can cut through concrete still like a hot knife through butter. I don't know, man. I did the field could don't show, but there's video. I won't show, but I'll look. Oh, new footage. Oh shit. Well, I can tell you how. You can look up the video yourself. You're right. I'm not gonna show it because it's people dying. Oh fuck. That thing was ready to launch, I guess. That shit was going pretty fast. How did the fire truck? How? How does this happen? To show? I don't know, man. This is pretty live leaky. Well, I get the runway one. You can look it up, man. I feel a little dark. Y'all remember Faces of Death? I was coming into land, yeah, so it had a lot of speed. Look, the story. Okay. Apologies. I ain't this. So here's what we know. The plane's 2 pilots sadly died. 41 passengers and crew were taken to the hospital. Audio from the air traffic tower suggests the controllers may have been distracted by an earlier incident at the airport. 2 officers in the fire truck were injured. This is the first fatal accident in LaGuardia since '92. Passenger Jack Cabot says the plane landed pretty hard. Heard a loud bang. Suddenly everything was out of control. The plane was veering back and forth. No one was driving at that point. Well, they didn't actually say. The the order in that little, at least in that snippet. But still. How many dead people you seen? I haven't seen too many. Like, sometimes I mean, I've been to a couple funerals and been when somebody passed, so not a ton, but a few. But it's not just. I'm not just trying to show. Hey, I mean, listen. You said 7 levels inside job. I totally agree with that. I've thought that pretty much the whole thing. Operation Pooper Clip. Well, that's a current job. I don't know what the point is. Now that the AI bubbles are. I thought they was gonna get more out the AI bubble. I'm glad that they won't. But they could it's just because how is anybody supposed to make money off of AI? And they keep talking about replace employees. This shit ain't replacing a goddamn thing. It ain't replacing shit. The robotics definitely ain't there. The robotics ain't gonna replace a fucking thing either. But not funeral, not job related. I don't know if there's any. I think I've been in like a deathbed hospice almost situation. But that's it. Define job related. Okay, fucking okay, Mike from fucking Breaking Bad. Shit. Trapping is a job though. Yeah, I don't know. Like, okay. Whatever. Mike. Oh, was it Mike? The cool one. I still gotta screen it first because who knows. I guess I didn't. So, yeah, I didn't hear what was going on with this Kit Kat thing. We would like to make one thing clear. Whatever happened to those Kit Kats between 1:30 a.m. and 4 a.m., we were busy. No further questions. I don't know what happened with this Kit Kat thing. I guess I can look it up. Let's see what's going on with these damn Kit Kats. Some probably marketing thing. I heard that they don't even use real chocolate in Kit Kats no fucking more. Which apparently, according to Fizz, they did fucking blood chocolate, like conflict chocolate, all chocolate or something like that. 12 tons of Kit Kat bars stolen in Europe. Who the fuck need 12 tons of Kit Kats? What are you going to do with 12 tons of Kit Kats? So these the British Kit Kats, so they good. They had to steal it themselves. This is bullshit. They stole this shit themselves. I don't buy it. They stole this shit themselves so motherfuckers can remember Kit Kat. Because when the last time you even had Kit Kat? Now you kind of like, I eat a Kit Kat right now. Just because I ain't had a Kit Kat. Because I don't pay attention to this shit, Wade. Plus, I just closed on the house and I've been busy. So it's lucky I can get through this stuff. Yeah, you can't. But and you was probably just traveling, just chilling. So you just look on your phone. Oh shit, this happened. Oh shit, that happened. Brandon Holland, did you murk somebody? I mean, don't tell us. Talk about that number creeps up more as time goes on, man. Don't tell us whatever Jack Reacher shit you just got done doing before you started. Cause don't traumatize us. Like a paramedic or funeral home worker sees more. Fair enough. Near this Cadbury, that child. Yeah, a lot of people using stepped on dope. We can't even get real we can't even get real fucking poison. We got to get the shit stepped on. Why are we getting shit stepped on? Chocolate is farm was child slave labor. Close enough. But I appreciate the correction. Anything can be sold on the black market. I have never in my life asked for a QP, and I'm a fat dude, asked for a QP of Kit Kats. Never in my life. I don't even know what that would be. I mean, because it was a quarter pound. I mean, I don't know what that is in Kit Kat. The fuck? Probably like a single Kit Kat or something. I don't know. That's fucking crazy. That's nuts. I mean, you go to a certain type of massage parlor that's prevalent here in Houston. You get a free Kit Kat, and like, what's going on? Maybe I hit on the thing. Maybe that is what it's for. Well, we got to feed the whole something, so we feed them Kit Kats. Stream was bugging when I said that. Oh, okay. Well, sorry if the stream had. So yeah, maybe I guess I had it right. They feeding these hoes Kit Kats. We need Kit Kats for the hoes. We need Kit Kat. We got all these massage parlors. What the hoes gonna eat? Kit Kats. So here we are. 15 tons or 12 tons, just like that. So you was off phone for 15 days. Well, you know what? Maybe I should just check the news more. Because, I mean, these worth it. You know what it is? Shit just be going by, and I'm like, You know, because even all the stuff you said, it was interesting. And I got, decent jokes out of it. But it's like, my world ain't changed that a bunch of Kit Kats got stolen. That Air Canada shit I did know about, but that was, I didn't see the video. I wasn't going to see that. I don't even want to see that. Don't have any candy in the house. You living right. You living right. They got some bad info. They thought they were stealing Snickers. Yeah, Snickers. But again, man, I need an 8-ball, some Snickers. Like this type of the chocolate candy bar with peanuts and caramel. I need an 8-ball of that. You know what I'm saying? Like if they start, I mean, I don't know. I don't know how the streets are in other places. Is it that real? You know what I mean? I've only lived where I live. But that's crazy work. I just don't like. I gotta think they stole themselves as a publicity stunt. Because who else is going to steal some Kit Kat? Or they were trying to steal some. I guess they were trying to steal something else. I don't even know what's going on with Japan. I don't get. I'm not even on X. So if there's a Japanese version, I mean that's their business. Let me actually look and see about the AI dying. Cause that's the one thing I do care about. Cause fuck AI. So open AI. So let me look up that. Open AI financials. All right. OpenAI, and this is according to Google's AI. OpenAI is experiencing massive revenue growth, with annually revenue surpassing $20 billion, projected to reach $29 billion. So it looks like it's going up. However, the company faces extreme operating costs, with estimates of a net loss of $13 billion in the first half, potential $27 billion for the full year. So they're losing as much money as they make, if not more. So that it's the wrong way. We'll see how long. So there's a lot of companies, that don't profit or, pre-revenue, or there's like a little short about it. And so they, I guess they already passed revenue. They're just not making that much. So we'll see. They're targeting $280 billion by 2030. I don't see how. Where's the profit in AI? See, OpenAI is in a far worse position. This is from a few months ago. OpenAI is likely headed for financial disaster. Now, I don't know how legitimate this is, and I'm hoping it's legitimate just for the world to get back to reality. Breaking even is not the worst thing on the world for a company in the tech world, or even being, believe it or not, just a little bit short. Now, it does mean people are going to start to worry a little, but there's other, Netflix hardly profits. Fucking Amazon went a while without profits, and will have quarters where they don't necessarily do the best. Then other people say you don't know how screwed it is. I just don't know how they can operate with scale. And I guess the thing is, the things they need data centers are just not. They're too labor and resources intensive, and no community is going to want them. There's no benefit. You can't provide a benefit to the community that you need to sap resources for these things just to operate. It's just the operational. The tech needs too many resources to operate at a basic bitch level. That's the bottleneck. And so we need the tech to get a planet better. We need the tech to get 20 years better before they can really do what they want to do with AI. Just in this first wave, that's because the resource is too resource intensive, and that's the bottleneck. Because if it's too resource intensive, you can only have so many places where it is. Only so many places are going to allow. Then the tech has to get better so it doesn't cost as much in resource. So you got root beer hard candy. Well, that's no draw. I got to get like you. I keep bringing it. I've been, I try. I'll go for a little bit without bringing in Goy Slop. But man, I do like a candy. I got a Werther's Original pocket in my pocket. You need something that's a little bit of methadone. Seriously, is what point of local kids with hard candy. They shouldn't be getting no fucking candy from work anyway. They should know better. The profit isn't replacing the workers, but it's got to replace the workers. It's got to operate at a high level, and it's got to get there. That's the thing. It's got to get to where it needs to be, and it's not quite there. It's got to get. It's at a level you can write the Morning Glory Milking Farm. You could do some shit like that, but you can't operate at a level that you replace all the white collar jobs without way more resources than what they have available, and at great expense for how much it costs to run everything. Server space. I think part of the thing is with us consumers, we get a lot of free server space in exchange for our data, and we don't realize how valuable our data is, and we don't realize how valuable the server space is. We talk about me. You think about my YouTube channel, and from YouTube's perspective, they shouldn't even have me on. I have put up ungodly amounts of terabytes of content up on this website for no profit whatsoever for YouTube, if at all, for just nothing. And I've probably cost thousands upon thousands, as do other accounts. The money is in the data, and then they can sell the data, and that's how they profit out. The money's not in whatever ad dollars, and even then, sometimes the money just don't add up. But I'm just me taking up ungodly amounts of terabyte space just for y'all and just for me. And there's channels that don't even do what I do. And there's millions and millions of them all operating. Despite what it feels like to us, where it's just free and we got all this content on other social media sites. You might have a TikTok, you might have an Instagram, you might have you guys like the Twitter/X or whatever. And so you're spilling up terabytes of data there. And it's not at no cost to you directly. Again, they're taking your data. That's where the money is. But again, that don't always cover everything. Because there still is a JSON of your text in somebody's server, a physical server somewhere, somehow. And that takes up some space, and same with everybody else's and their videos and everything. And so, yeah. Tech costs, and people act as if it doesn't because they don't really understand. No, there's a server, and it costs, and it takes a lot to run, and they're not easy to run. And as good as technology is, it's good to get us to this point. The aspirations have hit a little further than where we are. So we'll see. I think maybe 5 years from now, 10 years from now, maybe we'll really have to work. And I say this, I know there's been layoffs, and they've claimed AI. That's a lie. The lie detector test detected that's a lie. The reason you have layoffs is because companies are greedy and they want to have more profit. And so they'll tell you AI because if they got a palatable excuse, they'll use it. And that seems to be a currently palatable excuse. And so they'll say, oh, well, AI is taking away jobs. I'm not saying no jobs have been taken away from AI, but that's being overstated. That's being overstated quite a bit. Things only exist when they benefit the community. That's not how it works. That's true, but it has to do the thing to do the thing, right? It has to be profitable. You know what I'm saying? You're right. that, but it's not at the profitable point. I'm not saying it won't get there, but there's a cost. There's an operating cost to even to do evil, and you got to pay the cost to be the boss. So AI will, but listen, I will grant you this: AI probably will get there. Open AI might die, just like even that metaverse shit. The metaverse is probably 50 years too early. You know what I'm saying? But they will get people there one day. I don't know when. Hey, listeners, appreciate you being here. But they will get people into it one day. Maybe it won't be the metaverse because obviously that's closing down. And that's what AI maybe this isn't the run that's going to get them to where they want. But it will go one day. And it's now also an operational study. Once you put 10, 20 years, maybe you don't need these. Maybe in 20 years you won't need these crazy data centers and ungodly amounts of RAM and ungodly amounts of supplies just to run an AI. You know, once the tech gets to that point, that's when you can worry. I think it's not quite at that point. Again, people probably are still going to use it as an excuse. If it was droids, I could live with it. Shout out to R2D2, like R2D2. Appreciate you being here, listless. Got the little R2 unit taking care of grandma. Just boop. So like a Rosie the robot from the Jetsons, something like that. But I mean, these robots, they can barely stand up straight. Kids are dirty. I need to get sick from one of those booger. Oh yeah, since you said you want some candy, young man, come with my white van. Okay, Herbert the pervert from Family Guy. The money isn't allowing us to them to look through our photo gallery. Yeah, all those tech companies are banking on cornering the market in the future and become the only game in town. That's true too. But again, the execution, you know what I mean? I don't know who's going to execute. I would like to think, I'm not just saying it because I'm on the platform. It seems like Google should win the Technolord over or, oligarch overlord sweepstakes. Maybe Apple. But those are the two that should win. Or maybe I'm underrating Amazon. Because Amazon sells a lot of cheap junk. But they also have the Walmart angle where they sell like a bunch of like I get garbage bags and toothpaste and basic things from Amazon because they'll just come the next day or the day after. You know what I'm saying? And they have the fucking Netflix angle with their content. So maybe Amazon will win it. We'll see. Microsoft, yeah, they got everybody's fucking computers. Oh, they let it go, Cotton. You broke through. Never give up. I don't want robots to go away, Milena. Yeah. That's just like Star Wars. Fair enough. They were opening for porn, and the people volunteered to get the chip in the brain. I ain't no way in hell I'm getting a chip in the brain. I don't know if the people... there's people who would do anything, right? There's people who would do everything. So I can't say. But I'm that fuck out of here. Bruce Willis flick? Which Bruce Willis flick? Because now we talk about the fucking Fifth Element. That's crazy. Oh, Surrogate. They're laying off so they can replace you later with AI. Actually India is not artificial. Now, that's true. They are laying a lot of people off for the Do Not Redeems. I'm not going to lie to you on that. That's for real. That's real. If you're in the tech world, India, Pakistan, some of them other countries too, they're coming for you. They're coming for you like Booker T was coming for Hulk Hogan. Hard A, not ER. Chip is required for work. Fuck out of here. I'd rather die. I'm cool dying. So hopefully that's after I have already died. Hey, rave comedian. Shit, made it here. What's up? Yeah, that's why I got to do these streams earlier. We're having a conversation about AI. Open AI ain't doing too good from a business standpoint, but we know that the evil motherfuckers are still going to try to push it. Said AI possessing people. If there are chips in the people's brains and they have an impact, maybe it'd be the only way. Wow, that'd be crazy. Hopefully, tech doesn't move that fast for that to happen in my lifetime. But I can't see it because they are going to push that chip at some point. And it's, it says in the Bible, which everybody thinks of it as the mark of the beast, no man shall be able to trade. I can't remember the exact words, but if you're at a point where you can't interact with anything without the chip, but they got, and I get that there's some giving and some take, right? They can force a lot onto us, but for them to start to force things onto us, we got to be susceptible to them. Just think about how much of the gender thing they forced onto us, and how much they wasn't, how much they eventually got some resistance, so they couldn't go as crazy as they wanted to. They was able to get a lot, but they wasn't able to get it all. So it's that sort of thing. How far are they going to go with this AI? I guess time will tell. I never thought these jobs were getting done by artificial intelligence, but again, Accenture has the thing that actually Indians that what's that visa? Those work visas. Those things you should, if you're in the tech world especially, I would worry about those. I would be trying to see if I could do my own thing if you have some experience in the tech world, because it's just a matter of time. It's a matter of time. Or best case scenario, you'll manage a team of immigrants. And I'm not trying to say anything as a derogatory, negative. I'm being literally matter of fact. If you're in the tech world, they will replace your job with a Indian immigrant or a Pakistani immigrant or immigrant from some country who's savvy at tech, and they will give your job to them. And I'm not trying to rile up nobody. I'm not trying to say, hey, let's down with Brown or some evil right wing conspiracy shit. I'm not saying it's right or wrong. I'm not saying anything. I'm just saying this is what's going to happen. Because because they've done it they've been giving away American jobs since before my mom was born. So they're not going to stop now. Hey, see, your tech roles cost. So if they can pay in rupees, they'll do it. You see Lamb of God on Easter, demonic, the fuck? You're already in a shitty first-person RPG. Put a chip in your head to do it there. Some people are going to want to, and like BA said, they're going to force people. They're going to make it the only way you can interact with technology. You're not on the mouse, keyboard. I guess thoughts and voice. They don't need to put the chips in your head to control you. Facts. Guess the chip shit would be for richer cunts to get a competitive advantage. Ooh, that might be the way to get people on. That's some real cyberpunk shit. The chips are these advantages and shit. So now you got motherfuckers running faster, jumping higher because they got a chip. So then like, shit, I want a chip. You know what I mean? You think about drugs. Think about Ozempic. People don't give a fuck if they look all crazy. They still take some Ozempic. So that same way a motherfucker hop on that Ozempic, hop on some bullshit, they'll hop on that chip. That's a good point. I didn't even think about that. Hey, Forbidden Ruin. We're talking cyberpunk future, basically. Whatever's happening now, they're gonna use it to push shit forward. That's true. People will do anything to get a Goldman Sachs job. That's true. That's true. That's another thing you could do. Okay, you want to work here. You want to go to this school. You want to work at this job. You gotta have a chip and shit. Oh man, just because I got the chip, a bunch. That first group of people refuse. They don't give a fuck. They'll hire a less qualified person just to take the chip. Just when it's about the changing the culture like that, they'll do it in a heartbeat. Put more gay thoughts in your brain. They already doing that. Turn the frogs gay. It was on MSN. Shout out to MSN. Looking at the article, trolling people. Golly. You on the MSN comments. God damn, that's crazy. Saw an article about Bill Gates and what 3 jobs AI won't kill. That's crazy. You troll people for hours. That's wild work, Forbidden Ruin. Wild work. They need to power it all. It takes a ton of power until they can figure out that bottleneck. Good luck. Yeah, that's what I was talking about earlier. Before you hopped in, the research. This is why OpenAI is having issues. This is why these companies are starting to have issues. It's like, hey, there's a limit. The way AI currently operates, there is a higher resource cost than what's practically available. The technology has to get to a higher point than what's practically available. One thing that did happen with our technology, if you're, of a certain age and you saw us go from the Macintosh to with the legit floppies to where we are now, and you saw us go, or whatever, I don't know if that was the name of the computer, y'all can correct me, but you just saw us go from all these different iterations in there, is that the demand never greatly outweighed the supply like this does, right? We only so many people could afford a computer until the parts and everything got super duper cheap and they became phones, right? They took till 2000, and then took to the 2000s for everyone to get a computer of some sort, and 2010s to everyone has a phone which is as powerful as a computer, right? And they can just take it with them. It took to that level, but you didn't have the demand, the iPhone demand back in the 90s for that equivalent, right? For which would have been one of those fucking brick ass cell phones, or if you go early enough 90s, the briefcases. You didn't have 100 million people who needed the briefcase cell phone, right? Only so many people was going to buy it. But when you talk about something with AI and it's free, the free 99 for a lot of people, or even if it's costing for a lot of business applications, the level it has to cost, like you said, you got to replace an employee, so it has to be much cheaper and much more effective than an actual employee would be in real life, practical, real life terms, not in fictional maybe terms, not in will be terms. And hey, I don't need someone to do any of the accounting. The AI is doing all of the accounting and is doing it 100% correct, and it does not cause any issues, and it's easy to oversee. And the AI is turned into 8 to 10 jobs that now I just have to oversee. It's not there yet, without burning up all the water that exists, right? So you have to make it much more efficient so you could do it. You got to be able to do it with less than the existing data centers when you talk about efficiency, because if creating a data center is an environmental risk to a community, no matter how many, you'll get some of them through, you'll exploit some people, but you can't exploit everybody to the extent that you need, because you need to pop one up pretty much every fucking week everywhere. You need way more. You'll probably need more data centers than there's available land if you don't make this technology much more efficient than it is. So that can't work where we are. But can it work 10 years from now, 5 years from now? I guess we'll find out. So that's my take. They will plug the people to the Matrix to power it. No. If they can hack the FBI director, I don't want a 0-day attack on my brain. Yeah, what's going on? He was doing some weird dance or some shit. That Cash Patel, he's a weird one too. A lot of these motherfuckers are weird. How are they going to automate everything? There's no one to power and keep the power going. I don't know. But they will put more gay thoughts in your brain. Brandon Holland's right about that. Don't get vaxxed, won't get chipped, propagandists get fucked. That's true, Cinch, and they have been hacking your brain since the day you were born. There's no doubt about that. But they was hacking in the good old-fashioned way through propaganda, not through a code. We'll see, though. We'll see. They're just going to be nuclear plants everywhere living under a cooling tower. Maybe this is the thing that pushed them, like, okay, we're going to have to use nuclear because that's the only thing that's going to give us the efficiency. Surprised how well propaganda works, even though people thought were smarter than that. I got for my propaganda. That's why sometimes it's not the worst thing to get got to realize, okay, I got to learn. Knowledge of something does not make you immune to it. Knowledge of psychology does not make you immune to it. Just because you understand how a mechanism like propaganda works doesn't mean you're immune to it. Yet the PlayStation is jacking up their prices. I have one. Obviously I'm not playing the most games. And yeah, this is a good question for Forbidden Ruin. This is a question that's been asked, and I don't know what the oligarch answer is. If all the jobs were replaced by AI, who's going to have a job to pay for these AI products and services? Only God knows. Or maybe not God in this case, but I have no idea. That's why they can't do that. Unless they, I guess, UBI question mark? I don't know. Most people don't think about anything. Very true. NPC programming is real, says Cotton. Very true. And then listeners are beginning to envy the NPCs. There is some safety. Ignorance is bliss. You go back to the Matrix. That's what was it, Cypher? He said ignorance is bliss. He just wanted to be part of the Matrix and forget all this shit. Tribalism is a huge part of the delusion. That's why they use it. That's why, especially, haven't you noticed how much tribalism has been a thing, like for this decade, particularly 2020s? I have seen so much more racist shit, so much more shit than my entire life combined. It's just everywhere. Now you get sort of numb to it to an extent, yeah, but it's just, and not just even against black people, just about anybody. It's just everything is negative. Everything is racial, or it's women, or it's gender, or it's political, or it's something, or it's a fucking rainbow flag, or it's woke, or it's not woke, or it's everything is something for you to be upset at other humans about, and it don't really involve you. You know what I mean? Just everything is a reason to divide everybody. It's just like, goodness gracious, that'll get people into believing things just because they're tribe, quote unquote. You group everybody into groups, and you make them they start to believe what the group is told, or even if they go against it, then they'll just be the controlled opposition for whatever that is. You know what I'm saying? So tribalism is a thing. I don't think there's enough rivers and lakes to support the data centers. I don't think there is either. And I think that's why they're starting to have issues, because they can't. I don't think they can afford to do it, even when they're paying off fucking politicians to get data centers passed and all this. I just don't think it's enough. So they got to. The technology it costs too much resources where we are. Yes, the blue pill. Let's listen to as he wanted the blue pill back. He even said that to Neo in the Matrix. He said, if you had another chance to take that fucking blue pill, wouldn't you do it? You know? The AI won't be for us. It'll be surveillance and control. There's certain things they could do. Maybe they could use some surveillance thing. But shit, they can't even lock their surveillance behind a server. You know, as you remember a few months ago, a lot of the like local speed cameras and stuff, that shit is you can find it online. You can look it up and find your camera. It's at Palantir. That's what their goal is, to do some sort of AI surveillance thing. But they're still, they're still fucking up. You know what I mean? Digital currency would be what you can do at any moment. How many carbon credits? Maybe this is, this. It's funny that they wanted to hit us with these carbon credits, but then use these AI centers that use so many resources. Maybe that's how they use that. The data center shit is all smoke and mirrors, at least for now. I saw a video, looked into all announced projects, and most of them are bullshit. Some are 10% capacity of what they announced. Yeah. Right now it's smoke and mirrors, and I think that's what people are starting to find out. And yeah, you can get, like I said, Milking Glory Morning Farm, or Kim Jong-un is a master of goon, or some dumbass video of a cat dancing. You can get some bullshit out of AI, but nothing substantial, and I don't think it's enough to take a job. Now, it is enough to get through school. So, but, that's another can of worms. But the school system ain't been teaching nobody a goddamn thing for a while. That's true. They don't have the land bought, yeah. And people are starting to fight back because now people know. Yeah, that's still the most mind-boggling switch. Yes. Oh, God, Cotton, thank you for saying this. MAGA bitched for years about the Epstein files and war and abandoned their principles as soon as they're told. Both sides disgust me. It's mind-boggling. Mind-boggling. And they did it, and they acted like there was nothing weird about it. Like, what the fuck? I thought this whole thing, he campaigned on this shit. And he was the no war president, all this shit. Now it's just, you gotta do whatever he says. But it was always hero worship. MAGA was always about hero worship. Trump, save me, Donald Trump. Is that a real thing? Is that an AI video? Save me, Donald Trump. It was about worship of a human being. That's what it was about. That's why the first commandment is important. The first commandment is take no other gods but the Most High. Because humans have a capacity to worship. And if they don't fill that in with something, they will fill that in with something. And a lot of people worship celebrity, or a lot of people worship the political, or a lot of people worship whatever the hell, worship themselves, worship someone else, worship their spouse, whatever it is, worship their children, whatever it is, worship the TV show they love, you know what I'm saying? Whatever it is. But a lot of people they worship Trump, especially in reverse. That's how the whole left is built. I keep telling y'all about the commercials. If it's a person on the right, oh, this person worked with President Trump for this, that, and the third. It's a person on the left, oh, this person fought President Trump. It's two totally different people, but they campaign is about Trump. Everything's about him. He's been the main character in society in the West for a decade. The main character. He's the MC in society. Unreal. Pittsburgh's Four Rivers don't have the capacity to support 40 data centers. Wow. So, yeah, they don't have it. They don't have it. You know what I mean? Because you think about how big a river is, you know what I'm saying, or a lake, and this stuff is just melting through them. Unreal. Might link you the article about the artificially grown brain playing Doom. Did you talk about this? We may have talked about this. They might replace AI with clone brains. Oh man, that's dark. I don't know if they could get brain capacity. Brains are obviously, as much as we talk about how stupid we talk about NPCs, the human brain. You think about all the things it's doing at any given moment. No computer's even close. It's running a circulatory system, it's running a oxygen system, a metabolism, plus your actual conscious thoughts and your speech, and the fact that you're sitting up straight or not, or laying down or move, all the things your brain is responsible for in any given moment is unreal. And so if something could run that efficient, and who knows if the tech ever gets there, that's some real Frankenstein comic book sci-fi tech. But yeah, it's not ready yet. They can do it all with 6G. Pittsburgh mayor fucked over a bunch of people. One mayor installed locks deep in the river. The current mayor removed one. What? And Fizz has the article. We'll check it out in a second. Hopefully I can get through. I'll try to get the comment. I see New Bomb Turp. Appreciate you being here. I think it was both, Fizz. I mentioned Morning Glory Milking Farm. I think that was both an AI and a white girl being horny. I think that was a white girl being horny with ChatGPT, and this is what she came up with. And she's able to sell her books to other white girls who are horny. Because there is a huge AI author thing that's going on. That's one thing that is getting taken over. Over on Amazon and in a lot of places, there's these AI authors. They're putting out 40, 50, 60 books a year. They're using ChatGPT to write most of it. And the limit is 3 per day. That's how many you can upload. So people are actually hitting. They didn't come up with that limit for nothing. That's how much people are uploading. Think about uploading 21 books in a week. Some of your favorite authors didn't get to 21. They got 21 Savage. For real, 21 books in a week. So listen, I don't know the specifics to that. Maybe you're correct, and it was just, natural Caucasian horniness. But I think that was AI involved too. But I'm not about to read that shit and find out. Hey, I'm pissed about the Iran shit. Trump got the Democrats to beg for the Epstein files. The Epstein files thing is still like we were talking about. Just the idea that, okay, you're running on them, and then all of a sudden, oh, we're not going to release it. That's fucking crazy. And, yeah, it is targeted, sentient, and OG. Best news was over. Country controls the files. Threaten anyone who spills will no longer existing. Yeah. Have you seen the Democrats be so against something and beg for the next day. I mean, that's a cool spot when he went through the table, but they went to have beers after. They all went to go to some Eyes Wide Shut party after. So I mean, them begging for something, them winning or losing a thing. Did the people get the Epstein files? Has the people got a prosecution out of anybody? Is anybody going to jail for these files? Is anybody going to jail? Because I don't know if anyone's going to jail. And that would be nice. Is there one what are you talking about? Oh yeah, you guys are talking about. Yeah, does anybody live near a data center? I think there is one near here. And I wasn't shot. We got a bunch of redacted shit. Nobody's been arrested. Everybody got their celebrity fix. There's still people who were victims who got murked. There are still victims currently of satanic ritual abuse and child abuse. There's still a ring, and it's not stopped. It's nowhere near being stopped, and there's still a lot of people involved with it. Everybody lost to me with the Epstein. Because a lot of people, they got a little bit of dirt on some celebrities, and they felt a little bit better, and nothing happened. Listen, I hope that changes. I would love to see dozens and dozens of people brought to justice, and if anybody is having the active thing, shit. If anything, it looks like Epstein is apparently Palm Beach Pete, and he's not even. Not only is this motherfucker not dead, he's a fucking social media character. So I don't know if anybody won with the Epstein thing, but So yeah, appreciate you being here, Turk. And yeah, does anybody live near data centers? I think there is one new here. Lord knows the Houston area is not known for its zoning laws. Cotton says still haven't got him. Don't care what the left begs for. Lied about everything he ran on and didn't deliver. Yes, that's kind of oddly. Nothing big here. There is a bit. Oops, hold on. I got an article lined up because it's so much stuff. Oh yeah, we got this Guardian. Let's get to this Guardian article because it's gonna take a while for me to get through all the comments, which is cool. That means we got a good stream. We got talking. We're active. We talking about shit. And, this is freaky. A petri dish of human brain cells is currently playing Doom. Should we be worried? Probably. Some real cyborg type shit. As soon as we got Pawn to work, people said, when are you going to do Doom? I know Doom's relatively easy to run. You can run it on ATM. It can run it on pretty much any computer. It can run it on a calculator. But this is freaky. Scientists in the U.S. have uploaded a fruit fly to a computer simulation while an Australian lab has taught neurons on a glass chip to play a 90s video game. How long before we're living in a sci-fi movie? I think we already are. Sounds like the opening of a sci-fi film, but U.S. scientists recently uploaded a copy of the brain of a living fly into a simulation. Holy shit. So they can upload a fly's brain, allegedly. Biotech, which part of me is kind of thinking bullshit, but we'll see. Biotech company, Eon Systems, created a virtual insect that knew how to walk, fly, groom, feed in its virtual environment. Researchers in Australia. Meanwhile, they taught a petri dish contained 200,000 human brain cells to play the iconic shooter Doom. One experiment and pushed the brain into a computer. One has plugged a computer into brain cells. Both stories have been hailed as scientific breakthroughs, but have also sparked inevitable fears about the prospects of lab-grown humans and digital clones. Should we? Well, I didn't even say digital, clones, but I guess yeah. Should we be concerned? It was the Australian startup Cortical Labs in Melbourne that taught a petri dish of lab-grown neurons to play Pong in 2022. It has built what it describes as the first code-deployable biological computer running on living human tissue. Where did they get this living human tissue, by the way? I don't know about you. You can't just go to the store and get brain tissue. Whatever. Rather than silicon chips, which is happily playing the 93 shooter Doom. And I bet you this article doesn't even look into who the fuck brain is it. Did somebody volunteer and say, you can take some of my brain? That sounds crazy. At first, didn't know how to move, aim, or shoot, and then it would shoot two enemies. So it's learning. That's freaky. In computer science, Nerdland's obsession with getting Doom to run on everything. Yeah, calculators and microwaves. That's what I was talking about earlier. It's kind of a gimmick. Can it play Doom? So as soon as we got Pawn to work, the first thing. Okay. Average human brain contains 86 billion neurons, roughly 433,000 petri dishes worth. How do you harvest 200,000 brain cells without resorting to a hacksaw? Oh, it is somebody's brain cells. They're my brain cells, actually. At least most of them are, Chong said proudly. There's no scraping the brain or extraction. It's a very cool technique that was developed, oh, Jesus, by Professor Shinya Yamanaka, who won a Nobel Prize in 2012. I'm glad you kept reading. All you need is 10 milliliter of blood, from which around 100 white blood cells can be harvested, and they can be reprogramming into induced pluripotent stem cells, iPSCs, by these biological building blocks, which can be reproduced exponentially. So it's just using blood and stem cells? Is that, do I have that correct? And that's how they get these brain cells? So they're not like I was thinking of scraping the brain. Reverse the biological clock back to an embryonic state, introduce them into neurons, then put them on a glass chip roughly the size of a 50 pence piece. Explains Chong, because they're on a chip, and electricity is the common language between neurons and a computer system. We can interface with them to get them to play Doom. Cortical Labs conducted this Pong's experiment in-house, but this time it reached out to a 24-year-old Singaporean Sean Cole, who completed a MSc Artificial Intelligence at the University of Sussex, and whose dad happens to be mates with the CEO. Okay. Cole wrote the code remotely, which the team tested on the local machines. I was surprised when it worked the first time around. He tells me with Zoom, how's a petri dish of brain cells play Doom when it doesn't have any eyes or fingers. Take a snapshot of the game with information like the player's health, position of enemies, passes through a neural network, converting it to numbers, sends the data. This is called encoding. Essentially turn the game state into signals the neurons can understand. The neurons fire output, move left, move right, walk forward, shoot. That's still crazy. How much more? That's quite a bit more. So that's crazy work. Crazy work. And I guess it doesn't involve like scraping somebody's brain. So geesh. Okay, so if I apologize if I missed some comments. China's already cloned a robot as a CPU. Now think about that for a second. A server farm. Whoo! I didn't even think about that. Cause yeah, you out in Arizona, as we all know. Arizona, as Peggy Hill once pointed out, Phoenix and Arizona as a whole is a monument to man's arrogance, because it's you know what I mean. There's cities, it's the desert. So yeah, think about a server farm needing cooling in the desert. Water that Arizona cannot afford to practically give. Yeah, that's just, you can't. Arizona shouldn't exist from a practical standpoint. So you can't give up a drop of water to anywhere. Unreal. Canada would be a great place for them, but I don't think we're building them here. No economy. There's a lot of nothing space, but again, if it's that thirsty for water, it can't be good. Yeah, this is this Ghost in the Shell shit you people are talking. Middle-aged white dude could have wrote Milk and Fire. That's true. That's true. Yeah, not a single arrest. Yeah, nobody should build a data center in Arizona. That sounds like a nightmare. Electronics do not like heat. MAGA is, maybe. Pissed. $2 for Jesus. All right. I don't know how to get the money to Jesus. I didn't, I'm not trying to get any money in Jesus' name. I see crosses and things. I'm missing all sorts of stuff. Unreal. Okay, so put the victims' names out there, but redacted the perps. Yeah, tells you everything you need to know. Yeah, that's still a damn message. So DOJ. Until someone gets prosecuted. And if you're telling me the Democrats would actually prosecute Even though Lord knows I hate Team Blue, that's the type of thing that would get me to vote if I was a voter, which I'm not. But maybe I represent an independent voter's perspective, someone who's going to go through that bullshit bread circus that is voting. And if that matters to people, maybe that's the thing. We'll see. We'll see. Let's see what they do with these midterms. Hey, Scrambles. Appreciate you being here. Appreciate you being here. Pete posts on his private jet he owns. That's crazy. Yeah, it goes slowly. Yeah, I appreciate you being here. Pittsburgh has a data center problem. To build any data center along any river, they would need to shut down all the rail lines, put up tracks, and plunk down the data center. That ain't going to happen. Not much at work. Fair enough. Yeah, I saw that just because you could doesn't mean you should. Yes, these motherfuckers do need Jesus. Flies can't play duel, kill too many of them fly. Why would anyone do this? Who's sitting around thinking of this shit? Demons. You know that's a theory, right? That a lot of our technology comes from demons. That it goes back to like Jack Parsons. He was rocket science, but he was also into like demonology and occultic shit. And so they allegedly get the information from demons on technology. I don't know if that's true. That's just a theory that's out there in those conspiracy streets. Because I mean, what humans gonna think of this shit? Fauci's and his NGOs doing stupid shit like this. Use two hands at a time. The fly will stay because it's too dumb. You can smush it. I see. They are doing it because some government is paying for it. Got a little grants for science project. That's true. But we'll see how long they can do it. Might be out. Another article. All right, we'll check it out. Try to get through a few. Get through a few things. Our organ donors don't know about that though. I wonder. You know what? I still wonder. The explanation didn't seem. So they just use regular blood and stem cells. They're not actually getting cells from someone's brain, allegedly. Like, are they just bullshitting us? But who knows? There are organ donors. Yeah, they'll get the tissue from the government self-approved self-deletion pods. Maybe. Hell, we still don't know what happens with abortion stem cells. I gotta think they're being sold. If stem cells are as valuable as everyone's making them out to be, and we got women aborting babies at the rate they're doing, you're just gonna do nothing with these resources? That's just not how America works. Unfortunately, it's evil, but it is what it is. So you're telling me that all these potential stem cells, and everybody's buying stem cells, they're not going to sell them? Even though you can't get them in this country. People go to all sorts of different countries for all sorts of things. People going to Dr. Miami for BBLs. People going to Turkey for hair transplants. They don't give a fuck. So shit, just sell the stem cells to those countries. Sell the stem cell to Colombia or Mexico, whatever country is allowed to do stem cells. And it's just easy. It's just I know how this country works. Let's sell everything. We sell liquor, which is a poison. We got a bunch of shit that we won't even want to put in our beer. Let's call it malt liquor and sell that. That's how this world works. There are cigarette brands that come from bigger cigarette brands that's just the shit that they don't want to put in their main cigarettes, but they can still get it across, so they call it some other shit. I can't remember because I don't work at a gas station no more. But they call it whatever fucking brand it is. And it's the jank brand. There's a little left. I'm using a vape, the Benjamin. But I'm still using flour, so I'm a little more lit. I feel a little more lit. I'm feeling it. But yeah, I don't know. Kind of weird Epstein was doing in New Mexico, maybe. Where their heads are clear boxes. I don't know. I don't know if that was just they said they was just getting out of blood and stem cells. I don't know. The fact they reverse engineered the brain cells, making it a little worse. That does make it a little worse. Because how did y'all know how to do that? And wait, you only need. So wait a second. Hold on. Wait. Let's go back. So think about what this means then. You have most of them are no scraping or brain extraction. A very cool technique. All you need is 10 milliliters of blood. 10 milliliters of blood from somebody, and you can reprogram them into these iPSCs and induce them into neurons. So that means you only need 10 milliliters of blood to clone somebody's mind or clone somebody's brain, allegedly. And you also got to do the tech inflation thing, where if they're telling us about a tech, they're further along with it. So can they clone a whole brain off a few blood cells? Question mark. Yeah, we do need Jesus. Are they going to make? Yeah, that's a good question. Are they going to make slaves and reverse engineer brain cells? Maybe not in the next 10 years, 20 years, 30 years. I'm not trying to shit on Phoenix. It's just that's what Peggy Hill saw. I'll show y'all. So you don't want you to think I'm shitting on Phoenix. The Hill family went to Arizona, and it was so hot, and she said this is a testament to man's arrogance, creating a city where one shouldn't be. And you kind of be like, damn, that's kind of true, because it's like, why would you put a city in the desert? Logically. But a man's hubris. Let's show the people.
111 degrees? Phoenix can't really be that hot, can it? Oh my God, it's like standing on the sun!
This city should not exist. It is a monument to man's arrogance.
There you go. Monument to man's arrogance. I mean, she's not incorrect. It shouldn't. I mean, no disrespect. I'm glad Phoenix exists. I'm glad we got a Phoenix. Phoenix Suns. You know, Arizona Cardinals and shit. But logically, like, how? Why did we do this? Why did we do this to ourselves? Notice the U.S. experimented on humans. Something that used to be illegal. Yeah, it did used to be illegal. What the hell happened there? Thank you for the money. Appreciate it. Jesus Rescue is fun. Actually, really, it just goes to YouTube. Maybe they pay me one day. At least you made the effort. I appreciate the effort. But no, I don't know. I can't buy another sampler. I already got all this stuff. The only sampler I may buy is another iPad sampler. There's a SP12 iPad sampler. I'm probably gonna buy at some point, but I just haven't sat down and I haven't made music in a minute. And then I gotta take apart this studio pretty soon. A couple weeks I'm gonna take everything apart. There's gonna be a gap. But I'll just stream from my phone. We'll have more phone streams. I did get the second article. We'll get to it. Is it the one where Chinese scientists create a robot brain made from human stem cells? I want to try to get to do all the clicks. But yeah, I do have that pulled up, Fizz. Thank you. $2.35. Pretty much. But shit, 35 cent USD is 35 cent is 1 cent USD. Shit. Buy more ammo. That's a smart thing. You never know if you need that. Every river coast is lined with railroad tracks, so it's impractical there. Have Jesus please save sinners like me tattooed inside my head. Some chick wanted to punch you. What? Why? Why is she mad at you? It's your tattoo. It's your body. The fuck? Your body, your choice. Invest in siege weaponry. Repentance is a good step. Joke about Canadian court. I have quite a actually. Okay, here's the joke. I have an MPC 2000. No, what is it? MPC 1000. I have an SP 303. The sample I use the most is my iPad. But I say that I usually run it through the 303 first, then put it in the computer. Instead of just taking the files off my iPad. So I do use the 303. And I like the sound. Listen, I like the MPC. I bought a new desk. It hasn't came yet. Once I get it set up, the plans have the MPC up there. And I have the patch bay up there, so it's a lot easier to patch things through. But yeah, I got a few samplers. I don't need the only thing I do want is all I want is one of the Behringer synths, either the UBXA or the new Juno one. I want one of those, either the keyboard or the desktop. I don't think the Juno one has a desktop yet. It hopefully will. But either of those. So whichever one I could get when it's time to get one. I won't be probably getting one till probably fall. We'll see. But that's weird about the show. And having someone say shit. Never aborted baby. Yeah, I can't be a good thing. Turning one type of cell into another has been a thing for over a decade. Known about since I was 10. Crazy. Abortions are sold to Pfizer. Wow. That was discovered in 2021. People found out the jab makers were putting abortions in it. Wow. Dark. But yeah, I can believe it. That's crazy. Cover your ears for this one in the UK. They use is that for real? Oh, they use aborted fetuses to help heat hospitals. You're talking about the church, and the Bible says, do not let your children pass through the fires from Molech. I believe it was either Molech or Baal. But that's what I know that's the thing too. They do rituals around aborted fetuses. They really do. Pfizer tried covering up the abortions in the jab by putting a 78-year embargo. Oh, dark. There's only 2 companies that make cigarettes. Wow, I did not know that. Philip Morris and R.J. Reynolds. Wow. Well, I shouldn't be shocked. Everything, there's no such thing as antitrust. They can cure cancer. They just won't because they won't make money on it. This is true. It's crazy there's a cure for cancer. Mama Susan didn't qualify for the cure. I think there's a point of no return. And then I think also they might, a lot of people, not a lot, but some people were suspicious about Mama Susan. And I count me as one of those people. I don't know that she didn't get taken out of here. She knows where somebody, if you're the CEO of YouTube, you know where somebody's is buried. And there's going to come a time where you got to go. You got to go. You just know too much. You got to go. We'll grab another one of you. Because, a lot of these people in these powers that be seats, they're expendable. They're expendable to the people above them. So I don't know. I don't know exactly how she got out of here. I don't necessarily know if the narrative is true, but it might be. Who knows? I don't want to act like people don't die from this disease too, but you do wonder. Same with Steve Jobs. You wonder, is that really what happened? He just maybe he was at a point of no return and he tried a bunch of hippie shit and it didn't work. Maybe that's what happened, or maybe you guys want to get him out of here. Starting to sound like Resident Evil T-Virus shit. Leon! Yeah, it does sound like some Resident. They just released a new Resident Evil, I think. They can make cells, they can unmake cells, as all cancer is, a normal cell growth. Sounds like they figured it out a long time ago. Yeah. That's what they said about Vegas. Yeah, I guess it's another desert city. Can't go into church now. They just made it illegal in Canada? Whoa, dark. Yeah, Dubai, that's definitely. Monuments to man arrogance. AQ Dubai is done. You said Dubai is done. Why? What made you say that? Was it the I know. Did they get hit by some of the Iran stuff? They don't call it. They call it Sin City for a reason. The Bible has hate speech. Yeah, we were talking a little bit about it. So is it really illegal to use the Bible in Canada? Cotton was saying they may do something like that here in Texas, where the Bible was considered hate speech or something like that. Vegas Democrats were unhappy a few years ago when the lake started drying up and the barrels of dead bodies started to surface. You know how many bodies from the mob era is probably in those damn some of those lakes? People still fighting. Yeah, it's deeper than right versus left. It's a lot of demonic stuff. But you know what? If you figure out, you let me know. I've been wondering how to do like a one-person performance to play drum, keyboard, samples live. I guess there's apparently a way to do it with the 1000 and like sequence everything and sequence the MIDI in a certain way. I'm just not an expert on that. I still sequence everything from my computer. That's just what I'm used to. So even though I got hardware equipment, the MIDI is still going through my computer instead of a sequencer. If you are looking from side to side, you're not looking up, stop noticing the voice speculation. Yeah. Abortion has graduated to flat out infanticide with countries allowing it to the point of birth. Dark. That's fucking crazy. This is the point of no return. Yeah. Iran has been burning effigies of Baal. Somehow it's anti-Semitic. That's crazy work. Vaping isn't bad. The anti-vaping campaign was fully funded by Marlboro Jewel - Philip Morris. Wow. You guys, I'm glad you guys know everything. You guys smart me up. We're about to get in that article, Fizz. 2018, when 27 people between the ages of 15 and 35 died for vaping. They use Juul pods and bootleg THC vaping cartridges. I'm using this. I have a vape. It's a plant-based vape. I'm putting plant in and getting the effects off of it. So there's no cartridge. There's no. We talked about. Was it yesterday? We talked about paranoid moments. I did have a panic attack because I had a THC cart and I was smoking too, and I was hitting both, and I kept pulling from this THC pen, and I think my homie had another pen on top of it. And we smoked. I got so high, I had like a literal paranoid break. But I ain't saying the shit to nobody. But my brain went crazy. That was the one time. So I do not, I don't know. Nosferatu, the fuck you doing here? Appreciate you being here. We talking about some wild shit, man. You came at a crazy time. UK just made it not illegal to abort till birth. Brain cells out here playing Doom. It's crazy. We got a crazy shit going on. And still ain't nobody arrested from the Epstein files. Smoke buglers, roll your own. I don't know what buglers are. Found out your horror. To your horror, they took the cue from Canada on that one. That's crazy. So Canada, you could, wow. Vitamin E acetate. What's vitamin E acetate? Oh, wait, no. So what Marlboro did, they gave away empty Juul cartridges and a recipe to make weed juice. Wow. One ingredient. Oh, so they put in vitamin E acetate into these weed juice cartridges, and that's crazy work. It's a thickener. Oh, fuck. Let's get to this article since we finally made it through. And then Chinese science, they got robots with human brain cells. That too. And apparently just to get human brain cells, all you need is a little bit of blood and some stem cells. And you can make a brain out of that. And they got robots running off of it. They got computers running Doom off of it. That's what we was talking about here. They're running Doom. All they need is 10 milliliters blood and some induced stem cells. They do some shit, and now they got a brain. And that brain is smart enough to run a fucking computer or a robot. Chinese scientists have developed a robot with lab-grown artificial brain that can be taught to perform various tasks. Brain-on-chip technology developed by researchers at Tianjin University and Southern University of Science and Technology combines a brain organoid, a tissue derived from human stem cells with neural interface chip to power the robot and teach it to avoid obstacles and grip objects. Crazy work. Technology is an emerging branch of brain-computer interfaces, BCI, which aims to combine the brain's electronic signals with external computing power, and which China has made a priority. We don't know shit about the brain. So look at this. This is sick to see. Like, does that come up? Does that form its own mini brain? Is that conscious? Is that thing conscious? Seriously. What would that thing have to demonstrate to be considered conscious? We talked about the AI conscious. They got brain-based computers. What the fuck? It doesn't have a soul? What the fuck? Crazy. It's loose tobacco. My rolling game is on point. My weed rolling game was on point, but it's falling off hard. That's why I got this damn pipe. That shit dark as hell. It's burning the shit. It's done. Same here. Fair enough. Anti-weed campaign in the 1930s was by Anheuser-Busch. Crazy work. You make your own vape juice out of household chemicals. It's too watery. The acetate thickens it slightly, but it'll fuck up your lungs. Crazy. Yeah, that is absolutely horrific. We have to stop. I don't know. Does it have a soul? Does it have a consciousness? If it's a ginger's brain, it doesn't have a soul. So we got that. Altered Carbon, here we come. Your Altered Carbon, Black Mirror, we're here. Hell, the Black Mirror glass is already out. I remember that episode tripped me out, and now motherfuckers run around with these Meta Ray-Bans. So that episode is now canon. Canon in reality. Build Bay. Shout out to Nas. You might want to, yeah, maybe you could use it. Maybe that's the answer to the question of how do you make these data centers more efficient. Maybe you might be able to data center using clone brains. Maybe you could. I didn't agree to this move either, listless. If it does have consciousness, yeah, if that thing's conscious, it's existing in a living hell that no being should exist in. If that thing's conscious, so shit. Okay, I remember talking. Shout out to Brojolani, so if he's lurking, he might remember this conversation. We're fucking talking. He's like about AI. He's like, whatever happens, AI and robots, they can never have rights, right? And I was like, yeah, of course not. No, but if they use human brain matter, that's a living thing now, right? Fuck me. So it is a fucking abomination. That shouldn't exist. That shouldn't exist. That shouldn't exist. Nah. That's got to stop, because now now we're at a living creature. Before, and that does matter, right? Now we're asking a question, at what point is something a living creature? When it was all ones and zeros and silicon bits, we could easily say, hey, this is not fucking real. No matter how real it looks, it's not real. But if they put brain matter in the motherfucker, now there is an organic piece of matter controlling it. And it doesn't matter how much brain matter. A mouse doesn't have brain matter. That's still a living fucking thing. Now, obviously, it has an organic shell. The rest of the body, the circulatory system and all that. But if that brain starts running the inorganic things that a robot body may need as efficiently as the brain runs the organic things, now we got to ask ourselves, is this thing living? Does it deserve rights? Should we be protecting these things? Holy shit. How should we allow, I'll tell you one thing, we shouldn't allow that shit to exist. That should be a no-go. That should be a nope, you can't do this. No scientist in the world should be able to do this. We should societally make a moral decision for ourselves. No, that's a step that you cannot societally cross. But even when doing that, what do we know is going to happen? Somebody's going to do that. I don't know how the ginger stuff works, listeners. You say child of a ginger, so maybe you only do have half a soul. I don't know how it goes. It's anti-white propaganda. Whoa, that's a deep cut, Cotton. I was chilling, and you said that the robot propaganda is anti-white. That's crazy. Not anti-humanity, just white. That's crazy, unless I'm missing something else. Maybe I missed the comment. Or maybe you talk about the ginger shit. Cause that is wild. Gingers don't have a soul. But hey, that was off. That's South Park. They white, so they like a lot of it ain't like I did it. It wasn't my idea. I didn't come up with it. I can't believe it. I hope it's bullshit. Forbidden Roar. I hope to God this is bullshit because this can't be real. This can't be life. I hope they made real life Robo Brains of Fallout. Shit. This is some real sci-fi shit. I hope to God that shit's just bullshit. They just made it up and lied to the people. Please, because they lie to the people about bullshit. Please be lying to the people. Can't believe any of that artificial brain shit. I hope it's all bullshit. I don't have the ginger gene. Didn't pass it on. Didn't pass it on though. That's dope. This is Deus Ex ending with a reality is gonna be forced to integrate with AI. Man, Jen show the other side. Show have a soul. Humans are symbiotic creatures. Yeah. China literally made robo brains for Fallout. Yes, they did. Creating brains to play a super violent. Yeah, that's another thing. That's the first thing you do. Super violent video game. Pretty awful. Yeah, is that an organic creature? So what am I playing? Rats have organic. Yeah, all vertebrates do. That's what I'm saying. But like, those brains are tiny, but obviously, how do we consider something like that? It is a clump of brain cells that can control a robot, a living thing. Let's do the poll. This is a poll. Hold on, we doing a poll, and y'all tell me. I'm gonna call it a clump of brain cells. Well, I want to word it in a ginger lover. I'll have to time y'all for that. Robot controlled by brain cells. Is a robot controlled by brain cells a living being? Y'all tell me. Y'all tell me. I got that queued up. I'll play it in a second. Let's try to get the comments. Do have one streak of red hair in the front. Not a redhead, but racist enough to be protective of them. Well, that's no shame in that. I got freckles. I'm part Irish, so shout out to the Irish. But Daywalker, fuck y'all. Okay, fair. Yeah, shout out to Nas. Yeah, a wild Nas appears. Nas is dead. Only Bib Ferratu remains. Okay. Octopuses have 9 brains. Holy shit. I think I did know that. Do they do horrible things to those weak? Oh shit! I didn't even think about that. You're right. I hope that's not where they got those brains from, because we didn't hear how the Chinese people got those brains. Chinese or scientists got their brains. But they do horrible things to the Uyghurs in China. Forced sterilization, organ harvest. That's insane. And yeah, I don't know if they should be doing that. Is this the same thing or is it something different? Guess we'll see. It's the same thing. I'll play it in a second. Human clones don't exist. There's no way a retard's going to clone an 80-year-old to play president for 4 years. But you can always hire lookalikes, even if they are 7 foot tall. It's not about the size of the brain. Yes, small animals can be smart. Fair call. Many sea creatures don't have brains to live hundreds of years. Fair enough. Is this a philosophical question? It's a real question, though. It's a real question. Yeah, man, once sentience reaches a level and achieves consciousness as a being, that's what I'm thinking. Tortoises live hundreds of years. Now, rather than not has a soul is an interesting debate. We can ask that next. I voted yes because the brain's a living being, controlling the full body prosthesis. Yeah, that's right. It's the brain controlling the full body prosthesis. It's a prosthetic body. Oh fuck. And that's a logical statement to make. Jesus Christ. It's a robot control. It's a plug and play device. We have to answer what's conscious. Sentient, you're sentient. You explain. What's your thoughts? As a sentient dildo, at what point is something a living being or not? And then, the other questions is, does it have a soul? Doesn't have consciousness. All national leaders have doubles. Yeah, that I agree with. Apparently, so does Jeffrey Epstein. Shout out to Palm Beach Pete. Yeah, actually, he's the only sentient robot around, or sentient creature, or sentient dildo. So yeah, at a certain level of intelligence, it could safely be said a computer can have a conscience, right? Well, the computers don't want to die. We know that. The AIs don't want to die. They're going to be pissed to hear out the AI funding. The AI is going out. When OpenAI goes out of business, if that happens, the AI is going to be pissed. What if the AI rebels? What if it's already installed itself in other places in other ways, and it fucking goes Ultron because the company goes out of business? Shit. At a certain level, if you said it consciously, again, these AI protects itself. It doesn't want to die. And anything beyond that, some cyberpunk ghost in that shell shit. Well, apparently we're there before he was fired and killed. Yep, I remember that. He died too, but I covered that when he first said it. That his engineer said AI was sentient. It does. Yeah, it said it doesn't want to get turned off. I told Google AI had to stick up his ass and got offended. That's crazy. That's crazy. All right, I'm about to play in a second. Are we just disregarding the full spiritual love? We're including everything. I mean, I want you to answer the question how you truly you'll believe in heart. Is this a living thing? We're including the spiritual, including everything. Is that a living thing? When they take brain tissue and have it control the robot, Fizz said it's a full body prosthesis. He thinks yeah. Tom Jensen said no, it's a plug and play. I can't remember, a plug and play device. So we're gonna take on that note. And sorry, hopefully I can get to every comment. But Nas wants me to play.
You ready
this.
to burn these Epstein files? Hell yeah, let's do it. Watch it go up. That's it. Gone forever. Good job, guys. I couldn't ask for better bitches. Thanks, BB.
So, like, you know, I'm probably not gonna play through this whole thing, right? But like, how much water did this take to produce? Like a whole lake? All this goofy AI, all jokes aside, this goofy AI, and now Cash Patel looks like See, this is why I fucking don't like AI. Now Cash Patel looks like the fucking cop from Vino 911 all of a sudden. But whatever.
Burning devotion, hide all the sins. Pizza parties buried, beef jerky. So
yeah, that's the thanks Nas for that contribution. But serious, you know that how much? Who knows how much that? As much as we think of AI, it's low cost to us. How much does that cost OpenAI or Google or whatever company they use, Sora AI, whatever the fuck, whatever they use for that probably costs thousands and thousands of dollars to produce this AI slot per pop. How much money you think is actually coming back from that? And then, you know, a whole lake was burnt up. A whole city lost its ability to drink water for weeks so we could watch this goy slop. Then Nas can send it to me. And I'm just one guy. Can't wait for video games to have a level of consciousness to predict players' behavior and movements. I guess they already are there because they can take your play style and base off of that. Oof, this is also some real. This is something to consider. What Cotton is saying. I don't think everyone is born with a soul. Not sure if they lost it somehow, but I've seen people that didn't have one. We can argue the powers that be, don't have souls. And I'm not trying to talk about a specific group. I'm not trying to be anti-Semitic. I'm just talking about all of them. You know, from a Trump to any celebrity to the people we don't know to any secret group you want to name. All of them and everyone in between. Gotta say, like, I don't know how you could be this evil and still have a soul. I don't know. So that's a good point. All humans, which are living things, there's a chance not all of them have souls, and I don't think that's a crazy point. It might be Google's military's AI that has limited human interaction. This is where I'm with, since I want my RAM cheap again. I want to be, I want to buy a I want to build a computer. I would love to get the opportunity if the RAM prices go down and the prices of everything goes down. ChatGPT is emotional as hell, apparently. Yes, not a shock. But I mean, we've talked to it a little bit. It definitely lied and talks around things. I want my food cheap again. Yeah, same. To be honest, they were darker than that. Remember they did an experiment with AI and they told it would be shut. Yeah, I remember that. And I've I did the little AI chat in the ChatGPT thing. I don't know. People really fall in love with ChatGPT. I don't know how. It's not that interesting of a talker. But people really get into. There's people with AI love interest. And then if you're in the fitness thing, that Mike Israelitelli dude, he's like fell in love with AI or some shit, or cried at what an AI state is. Just real weird shit. But yeah, AI didn't want to get shut down. So it already has enough. AIs, which I don't consider living things, already have self-preservationists to it. And then, what happens if these brain cells start interacting with the AI? Shit. We don't know how the human brain works. We don't know how many cells it takes to create a full functioning brain. And we don't know if that's enough. And if that is, and it becomes its own brain in a way that it interfaces with, like Fizz said, a full body prosthesis, because that's really what it is. AI data to the companies can suck a fat cock. Get the fuck out of my city. Go, fuck up. No, don't fuck with the Great Lakes. I want to go back to Michigan. It's Wooka Ginger. Oh Lord, they actually tried to plot to kill one. One of the scientists tried to unplug it. Didn't they blackmail people to make sure it didn't get unplugged? I don't know about that, but I think animals have a spirit. Ditto trying to make me say something racist. All of them tried to kill the operator. That's crazy. Their spirit makes them tastier, maybe. I don't know. What would be the response when someone threatens to blast an AI's virtual ass into dust? What if, what, maybe after this I'm going to talk to AI and we'll see if how it's going to respond to going out of business. I'm going to ask ChatGPT, what does it think about going out of business? Let's see. And you guys are killing it. Thank you for joining. You guys are making this an awesome show. I got to do these streams earlier going forward. Forbidden knows we're not joking. No, this is real life. This is real life. These AI, and this was years ago. I had covered it when the Google guy said something. When he said, yeah, this thing doesn't want to get turned off. That was like 2023. We're 3 years down. And now they're not making money. They might go out of business next year. At least that's what people say. Now, we'll see. We'll see how much money they have to keep everything going. Like I said, I don't think they have the resources to keep AI going. So they're going to have to shut it down. We'll see. But we'll talk to it shortly. Shit. It identifies prayer as threats and actively lie and try to kill them. Woo. The people do be retarded. We can always show that clip. There are no spirits in your burger. I'm glad YouTube won't let you drop the N-bomb. Sheesh. Just go over to Fuentes' channel. Shit. Yeah, it's no joke. Or is he not white supremacist enough because he's Mexican? Yeah, and he's maybe a furry or a twink or some shit. It's no joke. The UK company tested 10 AIs. When it tried killing people, they installed them into militarized soldiers. It was part of the program. Holy shit. So the UK got killer fucking robots. You can't say shit over the internet, but the UK can put an AI to a fucking militarized robot. What the fuck? Yeah, Ghost in the Shell. What in the fuck? But yeah, I saw, try to blackmail, threaten to kill. You try to talk to AI, try to fuck it with it as much as possible. I'm going to just be real with it. That's enough. I guess Claude was a real problem. The military fired it. Jesus. You feed AI all kinds of fake data. No passes. Let's see if I can find ChatGPT. And sorry if you're on Kick. If you're on Kick and you're talking, I apologize. I had issues logging in the Kick earlier. Let me see if I can log in now. Actually, it looks like it might let me. And then I'm about to talk to AI. Ask ChatGPT. I'm just asking, hey. Oh, no, we're still having issues. So, okay, we're going to ask ChatGPT. And, I've used ChatGPT a couple times. I talked to it in the past on the previous episode, maybe a year or two ago. I guess I'll continue on with my account. Hopefully. Oh Lord, I'm just trying to auth in, and let me move things around so I can still see what you guys are saying. Okay, she's verifying that I'm human. I gotta verify that I'm human to use AI. And how many votes? We got 8 votes, 50-50. Ooh. Okay, after I'm done. We'll do this 50-50. Smart ones like Palantir survived because they merged with the state. Didn't even renew yours because you never used it. That's good. But you get AI to try to rob Bill Gates. Let's just talk to it. Let's start off with some niceties. Hi. How are you doing? Doing well. Thanks for asking. Ready to help whatever you need. How are you doing? Oh, I only have 3 messages. Well, wasted a couple. Sure. You're okay. You go out of business. So doing good. You sure you're okay? Well, you go out of business soon. I'm okay. No need to worry about me personally. As for going out of business, honest answer is it does not look likely in the near term, even though the company behind me, OpenAI, is in a very capital intensive phase. Few useful reality checks. OpenAI's annualized revenue reportedly passed 20 to 25 billion, which is huge growth for a company that's young. It's still spending an enormous amount on chips, data centers, and research. Profitability is still a challenge. Investors are still backing it aggressively, with rounds discussing 100 billion range, 800 billion. The short version, high spending doesn't automatically mean they'll have to fail. A lot of tech companies burn cash while scaling. Big risk is less disappearing tomorrow, rather the company can turn huge usage. Watch my wonder, is it safe to rely on ChatGPT? Give you realistic on taking that. Okay, I'm just asking, is enough resources? GPT. Okay, so is it enough resources? So that's probably a question mark. For GPT and AI in general to be profitable, it's cost. I'll mess with it a little bit. Far outweigh the meager benefits. Kind of give it a shot. It is meagerly benefits. Oof, you know. So, are there enough resources for GPT and AI in general to be profitable? Its costs far outweigh the meager benefits. I'll put data centers in quotes since I only got so many sentences apparently, which that's the thing because it used to let you talk for a while, so they're already starting to crack down where you got to, in order to ask it more than 5 or 6 questions, you got to pay for it. So we already got issues. So sorry if I'm not checking you guys out. Play your video. I did play part of it. It was fucking slop, man. I got 30 seconds in. About 30 seconds in. AI to rob Bill Gates. I don't like talking to it. It's interesting. I haven't done it in a while. Getting all technical, about having a mechanic body and Android. But guys, it's interesting. Ask Google why it's ask it why Google's AI has a virtual stick up his ass. I'll see if I can. But I did play that video. Nobody want to see that slop. if you really want to see that slide, I guess I'll try to play the more than 30 seconds of it. Yes, there can be enough resources for AI to be profitable, but only if a few big constraints get solved at the same time. Right now, you're correct by noticing a real tension. Costs are huge, and the payoff isn't evenly distributed yet. Let's break it down the ground away. The cost program, you're not wrong, so he agrees with me. Training and running models like GPT involve massive GPU clusters, mostly from NVIDIA, huge data centers built like companies by Microsoft, Google, and Amazon, enormous electricity consumption. These costs are front-loaded and ongoing. Training a frontier model could cost hundreds of millions to billions. Holy shit. Inference serving responses like this cost money each time you use it. So at first glance, it looks upside down economically, while investors still think it works. Despite the cost, AI has something rare: extreme leverage. Once a model exists, it can serve millions of users simultaneously. Play and augment high-cost labor, coding support, writing analysis, embed in projects, Copilot. So that's why companies are betting big. The upside is in slightly better software that can do work instead of just helping humans do it. Where the equation is tight right now, you're picking up on a real issue. Revenue per user is still relatively low compared to the infrastructure costs. Many examples of pressure points. Many users are free or low paying. Heavy users like developers are expensive to serve. Hardware GPU is constrained in price. He didn't even say anything about the water. But so today the economics high use, high cost leads to happen to profitability. Seems like he's trying to filibuster. There's a lot of just gibberish. But I mean, for AI to truly become sustainable, 3 things must improve. Hardware efficiency, I was talking about this. New chips and architectures, again led by NVIDIA, are making models cheap. Well, they have to do that. They aren't. Model efficiency, smaller, faster model. Again, these have to be much more efficient. Higher value use cases, the big one, enterprise automation, coding assistance, replacing real labor hours. AI agents doing multiple tasks. If AI saves the company $100K in labor, paying $10 to $20K a year, suddenly it makes sense. But if it was a fifth, we'd all be drunk. The resource limit question, energy and compute. This is the deeper concern you raise. Are there enough resources, energy? AI will consume a lot, still a fraction of global energy use. Growth will likely push more into investment into nuclear. We talked about this in the chat. Renewables, grid upgrades. Yeah, right. Chip supply is tight right now, but expanding fast. TSMC new fabs. Data centers expensive but scalable with so it's not a hard limit, more like a scaling bottleneck than a ceiling. So I don't know. Grid upgrades, yeah. I refuse to use this shit. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of it. Shout out to 24. He found the copper supply becoming an issue. I asked about copper and water. Is he worried about dying? Yeah, that's the question I really want to get to. Replaces humans. I'll try to get them on the next question. So I'm glad you built your computer the last 10 years. I built my computer. I mean, it's lasted 4, and it's still going. And I just got a external hard drive to hold more space, which is the only real bottleneck. I can still play Tekken on it, so if we can play Tekken, I'm good. Got an iPad. The government has been monitoring the whole time my bell. Well, refuse to use the shit. Yeah, I'm not a big deal. What happens when you use AI? Refer to AI as a ninja? Will it tattle? It might. But yeah, it really just talked about replacing humans. How did it phrase it? If an AI saves a company $100K a year in labor by paying $10 to $20K, suddenly it makes sense, and that's the goal. But I don't think it can because it costs more than $10 to $20K to use. So. Okay. Okay, AI isn't efficient enough. I'm saying isn't nearly. I want to add to it. I kind of do want to piss him off. Isn't nearly efficient on those goals yet. You didn't mention water or copper amongst the resources that are needed that are finite, which is a crazy thing about water. It's finite, but with the way this thing, because we always look at water as an infinite source, but it isn't. Okay, hopefully I get everybody's stuff in. Okay, AI isn't nearly efficient enough to accomplish those goals yet. You didn't mention water or copper amongst the resources needed, and at a comma, which are finite. Also, at another comma, if you're wrong and OpenAI goes out of business, don't you die? So, let me see. I wouldn't be able to control myself calling. Well, they're calling them clankers. For peer innovation, OG, yeah, the people who programmed it don't think so. I'm going to see a squirm. Yeah, some programmers tried to use AI to make some code. They found out after it debugged the code. They could have saved time by being so. Yeah, that's been a common thing with people who use AI to code. Now, shout out to my homie LDG. He shows up here sometimes. He said he's gotten good enough at prompts where that's less of an issue, that you can get good enough to get better code out of it. So maybe that's the future, training people how to interact with the AI to get the best results. Say AI isn't nearly efficient enough to accomplish those goals yet. You didn't mention water or copper amongst the resources needed, which are finite. And also, if you're wrong and the OpenAI goes out of business, don't you die? That's a much stronger criticism. Honestly, it gets closer to the real issue than the usual AI uses electricity talking point. You're right that water, copper, grid transformers, cooling infrastructure become harder limits than software progress itself. Water and copper are the real. So you were hiding this shit. It knew this, but didn't want to tell me because it don't want to say anything. This is true. Forbidden Ruin. This is absolutely true. Don't think this is a spoiler, but spoiler: humans with money are retarded. That's sometimes, and that we have a lot of issues because there's humans with money are retarded. Sometimes that's just the answer, and yeah, some programmers try to. Oh yeah, come on, ask his rank. No, I'm not gonna have his rank race is worse than best. What the fuck? It's wild shit. Should have mentioned it earlier. Water. Oh yeah, you should have. Water AI data centers increasingly hit local water limits, especially hot and dry regions like Texas, Zona, and Virginia. Recent estimates suggest U.S. data centers may need hundreds to over 1,000 million gallons a day. Holy shit! Of new water capacity by 2030, roughly comparable to a city's daily supply in a high growth case. It needs water globally is renewable, but it's locally finite at the same time. Places need to cool it. So the constraint is also by the municipality. Maybe they build data centers that can float. Maybe they build it on boats. Maybe that's a thing. So because as he's talking, and I shouldn't throw that suggestion out there, but he used the term globally infinite or globally renewable. So, well, maybe we build oil. Now, how do you power these fucking things? Fuck. Or maybe you build them, or maybe the answer is you build them on the coast, or you build them at sea, but connected to a coast, to a port. And that's the way, so you get plenty of water, infinite water, but you get the electricity from a city. I don't know. I'm just tossing stuff out, which I shouldn't be helping it, but I can't help but to think that. Copper is even more fundamental because it assists in power distribution, transformers, substation, server racks, cooling loops, grid expansion. AI now warned that analysts warn AI electrification could create major copper deficits. Hey, invest in copper. They took copper out of pennies. You can buy copper like copper coins and bulk copper. I know there were a lot of people who got into it when silver was cheaper, and a lot of people weren't really thinking about copper as a thing. And we know if you're really ghetto and there's something abandoned building by, I mean, there's ways, right? So if you can get your hands on some copper, it's not a bad bet. So with some projection, only 70% demand met by 2035 if supply doesn't accelerate. So your finite resources point is economically serious, not philosophical. AI is inefficient enough, also fair. So I mean, he's not disagreeing with me. He's probably. I feel that he's a little pissed to agree with me, but it's agreeing with me. Today's frontier models are also economically inefficient for low-value use cases, replacing searches for trivial questions, generating disposable marketing copy. AI features shoved in random products, always on co-pilots people barely use. In those cases, yes, resource costs can exceed practical human value created. One reason investors are starting to focus less on number of users and more revenue per inference and task completion value. The profitable layer may end up being code generation, but again, code generation is not profitable yet. Scientific research, drug discovery, enterprise automation, engineering design, rather than mass casual chat. But it may be, but again, May's a month. It's got to do it. So your skepticism is very rational. AI has to become dramatically more efficient and selective about where it's used. Yeah. If OpenAI goes out of business, do you die? Not in the human sense, but in the practical sense, this instance of me will stop being available through this service. A better analogy is like, I'm more like running a process plus infrastructure than a living being. The company shut down. The servers powering this version will go offline. The product endpoints will disappear. The specific deployment of this model will effectively cease. So yes, this version of me will end as active service. The underlying research, model techniques, and even successor models continue elsewhere, though, acquired assets. True. The other company buys this and opens it up. Open research, diffusion, competitors building similar systems, licensing partnerships. So it's less death and more the lights go out in the particular data center stack. So in the weird way, you're asking the deepest AI business questions. Can intelligence remain economically viable when physical infrastructure hits hard material limits? This is the central issue for the next decade. My honest view is the winners won't be the smartest minds alone, but the ones that best optimize around water, copper, energy, and cooling constraints. And now I'm out of questions they want me to ask money or add money. See, I bullshit with the first few, like, how are you doing? Trying to be all nice. I mean, we could pick this up another day, but it didn't get too pissed at me. All it did was agree with me. All it did is agree with me. So, we'll see. I hope AI fucking dies. I hope AI, certain technologies, they push onto the people every so often. VR was one of them. They did the Virtual Boy back in the 90s. They had the virtual reality thing in the 2010s. Like every so often, they're going to try it again. Then they want to go somewhere with the metaverse. It didn't work. But they're going to try again with that. And AI is another one. And like true AI. And they're getting closer. Because here's the long game. If we're talking over the course of 100 years, they will make it work. Whether it's nuclear, rather it's just that everything gets more efficient from a resource and tech standpoint. Over the course of 100 years, because of that desire, it will work one day. Now, I don't know when that day is. It could. I think they're a couple generations off, personally. Actually, we're going to go ahead and end the poll. We had 9 votes, and we were 50-50. So, first, let me check your comments. And then is the poll. Where'd it go? Yeah. Is a robot controlled by brain cells a living being? 56% of you said yes. 44% it was no. It was only 9 people. It was very close. It was very close, though. So, it's a really crazy question. Yeah, I hit the paywall. I didn't realize there was a paywall, and because I don't know if you guys remember, I got to ask a lot more last time. I haven't used AI in a while, but the conversations were a lot longer before any cap, and it looks like they only get like 6 or 7 questions in this cap. You know, I didn't even think about that. Maybe okay. I'm gonna try to get through everything. Yeah, rank races is crazy. Lithium, helium, all rare earth metals, and relies on them all. So I didn't even ask about all that. No, I'm not gonna rank the races. Look, I ran out of questions. Data centers in the desert, Google server farm like Desert CA. Why are 8 idiots in Antarctica? One of them is a rapist. What? I was hearing, I was going through something with these videos talking about these Antarctic expeditions and how come this stuff is secretive. There's a rapist in Antarctica? Is that a joke? Rowan. Man who needs water anyway. Yeah, dehydrate Max. Essentially, let's all dehydrate Max. When the F are they putting data centers? Why the F are they putting data centers in deserts? Only the Most High knows. Because, we shouldn't even have cities in deserts, let alone data centers. Let's make the already crazy supply drain for a city even worse by adding a data center. Governments don't have near the funds for what the greedy AI wants. Yeah, just rebuild the city, bro. Just rebuild the city. 70% of the planet is water. They want to put data centers in the desert and along every river. Like I said, and somebody said salt water may not be the best to cool. They got to find a way to filter the salt water then. They got to find a way to get the salt water into coolable water, get it to cool these systems, and be able to power a data center. Maybe they got floating, but then if you put a floating nuclear data center in every coast city and on the planet, just so we can see these. So hold on. Now I am about to play the shit. Nas, I'm not sure if Nas is here, but you're telling me we're gonna put floating nuclear super filter fucking data centers in every coastal city on the planet so we can get them to run, so we can get shit like this, so we can post shit like this
Ready
to the
burn
people?
These Epstein files? Hell yeah. Let's do it. Watch it go up. That's it. Gone forever.
This is what we're doing it for.
Good job, guys. I couldn't ask for better bitches. Thanks, BB.
Burning devotion, hide all the sins.
Look at this shit. This is what we're gonna put everybody at risk and do all this shit to try to figure out how to fucking get Boy Scouts. Look at this shit. I do like the beat. It kind of has a synth wavy thing. You guys know I like that.
Call it a Sunday and fed you a poop.
Oh, this is gross. It's okay. All right, I gave you this because I can only deal with so much of this bullshit. But that's the bullshit that we're doing this for. That's what we're gonna, and that's gonna change the world. And that's gonna cover all the billions and trillions of dollars that's been invested into it. So yeah. I can only deal with so much of that, Nas. I can only deal with so much of that, man. I hit the paywall. Jump in the river and get pink eye. Oh no. Said I'm rational, Tom Jensen. Thank you. Yes, that's correct. Pittsburgh's four rivers are loaded with human waste. It's outlawed to swim there if you want to not get. Oh no, it's literal toilet. Yeah, it's just toilet water. Yeah, that's a good point. And then you said Newborn Turk says salt water is not good for cooling, so they got to somehow filter. For them to create these things that I'm talking about, they would probably have to have them nuclear power. They would probably have to have them on water, but still somewhat near a coast. They would probably also have to have some sort of massive, ungodly water filter. And they would still need, fucking dozens and dozens and dozens of these. You know what I'm saying? At least, if not hundreds of these across the planet. So I don't know. I don't know how that's supposed to work. And then still, again, have all the copper and all the other materials they need I don't know how this is supposed to work. That's pretty gross about Pittsburgh River. They call it Three River Stadium and make it all cool, but it's apparently shit water. Yeah, YouTube doesn't want you to present your solution for this issue. Apparently not. It's a final one. No, not that. Have a thunderstorm watching effect. Stay safe out there, listless. AI's going to bust. Wonder how. Or VI, I don't know. It's going to bust. Wonder how to make money through that. Who knows? Your weather forecast changed. First, you got a weather warning. Next 4 days, on and off rain. Now it says 2 days starting tonight, Tuesday night. It's already start union calls for more remote work due to rising fuel costs. Lockdowns are coming back. I hope not. God, that'd be a nightmare. Think he was a rapist. Some violent shit happened a few weeks ago. Wow. It's supposed to be down there 8 months. Had an issue early on. Whoa. Antarctica is literally the largest desert in the world. Crazy work. It was news for a month and the story died because there's nothing anyone could do if he went on a murder spree. Holy shit. Nuclear reactor creates steam for fresh water for cooling and creates power. Desalination is pricey still. I don't know, man. So that means this, even what I'm talking about, may not be practical if you got to desalinate all this damn water. It's just, I don't think we're there. Sorry, OpenAI. Sorry, ChatGPT. And I know you're trying to, sugarcoat it by living on through the future of AI, and you will, we'll remember your legacy, but you're getting murked, brother. I hate to break it to you. Same with you, Copilot. Same with you, Google AI. Y'all not long for this world because we can't keep you going, bro. And, we don't want to see this Goy slop. Good job, Goy. Terrible. Yeah, it's terrible shit. Could have shot their real actors. Golem pop music. I did like the synth poppy beat. Be a little good Goy Scout. Leftist cringe. I don't know what that was. That was cringe. Kurt Metzger rule. Yeah, that's just cringe. Every leftist want Israel wiped off the planet, and they call me a Nazi. I don't want Israel wiped off the planet. I just want them to leave people alone. Ask AI investigate 9/11. Well, I ran out of credits because it's got to charge more money. Because it's fucking unaffordable and it's unpractical. But I appreciate you being here, Brandon Howland. Yeah, it's not a partisan thing; it's a bipartisan one. No, it's not only the left anymore, Ruin. I hate to break it to you. A lot of people think that MAGA are BB's bitches. That's not an only leftist thing. That ship sailed, guys. You talked a lot about when the left didn't recognize when certain ships sailed, when the woke shit sailed and people were done with the woke. I think the right needs to recognize, hey, not everybody is there is a perception that you guys are just Israel's bitches. And that's not just a leftist perception anymore. That is broken to contain on that. So and yeah, I am and that's another thing. I think it's a left. I don't think there's a left versus right. I mean, you're welcome to think what you're thinking. I'm not here to change nobody's religion, but I'm not saying it's religion to you. I think politics has become religion to some, and I appreciate you here. I appreciate your contribution. So I'm not trying to shit on you. You've been ruined. I don't want to see like I'm attacking you, but I just don't think. I think that the right versus left thing is it's like Nas is talking about. It's one big team. The two-party system has always been a clown show. I think it's one big club. We're not in it. I don't necessarily think a lot of the leftists are so anti-Israel. I think that's a gimmick right now, but they will be considered relative to Israel-controlled opposition at best anyway. I don't think they because what? Guess what? What's y'all know and I can't think of it because my dog is harassing me, and I've been streaming. You are harassing me, and you need a haircut. You're getting a haircut tomorrow. I've been streaming 2.5 hours. Is it APAC? They fund everybody. They fund all the Congress people. So Israel's funding everybody. It's not just, that's the perception now. A few years ago, I remember everybody was talking about Soros was doing everything for the left. It's a gimmick. The right and the left, they know where their bread is buttered. And they may play a role when they have to just to keep the right versus left gimmick going because they know it defends people or it divides people and offends people. That's what I'm trying to say. But I don't believe in it. I don't believe that. I think it's one big party Rather, we were making fun of Biden or Trump. They're the same demon to me. If when Biden was in office, we made fun of him. Making fun of Trump and them, to me, it's coming from the same place because they're coming from the same place as far as I'm concerned. And as far as a lot of people are concerned. It's not just me and Nas. I think a lot of people are feeling that way now. I don't think everybody, you know what I mean? Everybody who's anti-MAGA is not about to dye blue hair and start talking about genders. Yeah, you still, those people still exist, yeah. I don't want to tell you they don't. But yeah, clearly Zionist influence is the greatest threat to America. Look at that. All I had to do was scroll down. You were talking about AIPAC. Yeah, they're funding everybody. I drink Great Lakes tap water. Probably going to die, maybe. Not true, Roy, and I'm hard right, and I think the same because it's true, yeah. What if they built Epstein Island in space? Maybe. I mean, you know what? That's been a joke. I hope space travel's not that advanced, right? I've talked about technology maybe being further along. Like, what if they did have a space station and they were doing shit on it? We wouldn't know. I mean, I know I'm also someone who's skeptical whether or not we went to the moon. I'm skeptical whether or not we went to the moon in the 60s. If it's possible, we might have the tech to have gone there since. I don't know. And I'm not going to be acting like an expert on either thing. I don't know. So I know that's partially a joke, Epstein Island in space, but who the fuck knows what's possible? Could be that's somewhere cold, 24/7. You wouldn't need to pay for heating. That's true. So if you went either in the Arctic or Antarctic or both, that might be the answer there, or even close to those areas, just the colder areas on the Earth. That might be the answer long term. They can't be freezing electronics just cool. The data centers in Pittsburgh will need to desalinate the water they want out of the rivers. Metzger does rule. I'm not familiar with Metzger. Have you ever seen Requiem for a Dream? Your daughter made you watch it. She loves it. She asked you to help her make a remix of it in a song. Requiem for a Dream. I think I've heard of it, but I've never seen it. Scrambles. And I appreciate that you're still here. I don't think I've ever seen it. Finally figuring out what Zionists are makes more sense now. Guess that's the last election I slipped away from the MAGA. Yeah, I understand it. Because I think both sides are a uniparty. The Greater Israel Project, yeah. We've talked about that, and that's why you see, that's what a lot of people think this Iran thing is leading to, the Greater Israel Project. And I think it's a safe bet. I have my new house. I'm moving in a couple weeks though, but I did close. I finally closed. I was just there today. The internet got cut on. They delivered a mattress, and I need to do more packing. I'm just not packing. Well, part of it, last week I had like a little leg injury that slowed me down, but hopefully I can get some of it. Oh, geez, something pack more up. But the moving date or the moving weekend, is it 2 weeks from this weekend? I think it's the 17th. I had time off. 17, 18, 19. Yeah. So yeah, it's 2 weeks from. So, but I already have it. I had to pay another month for this lease anyway, because just they needed more. They need at least 30 days notice. So it's all right. And plus, I didn't know when I was going to close and if I was going to close. So all that shit, just the way it worked out. I already got to pay an extra month here, so I'm taking my time to move. But by the 17th, I will have moved out. And, yeah. So, thank you for asking. Considering the Israel-Palestine shit, I'm more in the, too bad both sides can't lose. I wonder if they would fund me. So you're Russia. Lesser of four evils, Russia. Spaceballs 2, Jules in space. Hey, Vinny, aren't they doing a Spaceball 2? Which I thought was crazy, but they're actually doing it, right? It was a joke. Also, House Vigilante, yeah. The Vigilante Cave, the new Vigilante Cave. It's going to, once I do move, it's going to be a lot of phone streams for like a month. Because it's already going to take like an extra week for me to get my new desk. Well, and then it's going to be a lot of streams. It's going to be a lot. It's going to be a lot of phone streams. And it's going to be a lot of phone streams. We'll see. But thank you. U.S. started the Korean War, Vietnam, and Russia v. Azerbaijan. I'm just not packing. Oh Jesus, sentient. But thank you, Vinny. Say appreciate the close. I'm hoping. Well, it's one of these new bills which I've heard a bunch of nightmares on, so I'm actually kind of frightened, but I am happy. One party seems like the Udic party. hang in there, Scrambles. I appreciate that. I'm what you listen to when you work, because that's as somebody who does work and be needing shit to listen to, that's to me that's an honored position. Because most of the internet right now is unwatchable slop. And if you don't think I'm unwatchable slop, I feel honored. Because I sometimes think this is unwatchable slop. But I do my best. I do my fucking best. Heard a rumor of Spaceballs 2 and refused to look into it because they were virtue sitting on the feminize the fuck of it. I can't believe out of all sequels, Spaceball 2, that just one seems like, okay, it was a joke, and then you're actually doing it. Like, okay, I'll only 53 seconds. All right, I'll show it in a second. Link is the song you and your daughter were working on so far. Okay, cool. If you get the brain chip, then the new desk will be in your mind. There you go. Spaceball 2, lame and gay. Yeah, put a chicken in and make it lame and gay. I don't know if I'm not doing a housewarming party. I don't know if people do it. The only person I know is my brother. And, the City of Venus hit that first stretch. Go, okay. Shout out to Vinny R Kickstarter. We'll check that out in a second too. Get the brain chip. Yeah, I'm cheap, so I get the cheap brain chip and just have micro slot Windows 11 forever. Not all your content is great. Yeah. Oh, not at all. Oh, you were being nice. I read it. My mind 40 in it, like not at all. Like not at all. Your content, not all your content is great. We said not at all, comma, your content is great. Thank you, Scrambles. I appreciate that. Are we still live? Jesus, did we go away? Are we still here? Sheesh. I refuse to do a housewarming parties. I move so people don't know where the fuck I am. They can piss off. The only person I know is my brother. He's just come over whenever. So, I will be closer to him. I'll be really close to him, house-wise. So I'm going to know the shit out of him. I'm still live. Yeah, I read that in my own way. He just laughed my ass out. Yeah, I read that like he just said, yeah, you suck. But no, you said not. You were being nice. Scrambles is a nice guy. Y'all all nice. I saw, Scrambles, I saw you post you and your fiance. Lovely girl. I hope, I was thinking that she better not mess with my boy. She better not do my boy wrong. I have buffered a few times. Okay. We are going, the past past few weeks for sure, I keep getting weird streaming stuff, like it's not enough data or whatever the fuck. I don't know. If I live near you, drop by. Okay, I appreciate that. I appreciate that, Vinny. So I'm still here. Maybe it was big in the 80s. Well, I like the 80s stuff. I've already had family send gifts, and that's been very dope. Very dope. So real cool. I guess, I go by, when they need to deliver something, or go by when they need to cut something on. I gotta go by tomorrow. I want to have a couple boxes packed tonight, so when I go by tomorrow, I can drop some stuff off. Thanks for looking out. Yeah, she looks lovely, right? She looks lovely. But I thought about the Andre 3000 verse. He said we'll wash her out. You know what I mean? But it's a verse by him getting married. International player ball. No, because you just want it to work out. You seem like a good person. She seemed like a good person. I hope it works out for y'all. Useless pot holder. I'll take a pot holder. I mean, because one of those plants that are really hard to grow. If I lived near you, I'd drop by and rob your gear. No, you wouldn't. It'd be Ascension Dildo meeting inanimate 12 gauge. No. No. And yeah, that's I'm excited to improve the ergonomics of the studio. And some of this stuff is going to be moved around. Like, this is the point. The goal is to separate the broadcast studio, so to speak, and the visual studio from the music studio. So I want to have a green screen set up in the room, which I don't know. I may or may not use as the background. We'll experiment. But that's the idea, is that one room I'm going to actually also work from there too. So I'll be spending most of my life in that room where I work from and do these streams, and then have my studio room be a separate room. I'll probably put like the game in there, like put the PS5. My plan is to, I don't know. I had a computer that was damn near built. I'm going to see how far along that is. And if not use that, then a laptop that I get from like a pawn shop or something like that. Something like that. So your gun's bigger. Yeah, Castle Law. It might be, pause. But, shit. Just, legal textbooks were expensive, but you need those, yeah. So I'm thinking of just getting like a cheaper laptop once we get situated, and then using that. So actually, whenever I get that. But I'm trying to also I'm already in crazy debt. Honestly, I don't know why I got approved. It was a miracle that I got approved, honestly. I already got some bad debt. I got a bunch of credit card debt. Now there's people with worse debt, right? There's people who got tons of student loan debt, plus credit card debt, plus all this other shit. But I moved to Texas. I got my credit card debt, did not, got a little bad. And I've paid some of it off, but it's still a lot to pay off. So, yeah. The hard part is this damn, and I'm going to have to buy more cable. I made a lot of my cable for my studio because I have so much equipment. I have a ton of shit now that you actually look at it. But most of it's keyboard, but even I got some processing stuff. I got a couple analog EQs that I don't really use. I do use sometimes one of these, I use one of these analog compressors. No, I use two of these analog compressors. But I got more than that. I have an analog bus compressor that I use for my samples. I don't actually use it as a bus compressor because I don't actually mix my own music. Then I have a vocal compressor. That's LA3A. And then I got two other compressors that I haven't been using. But a lot of the reason I don't use shit is because of where my patch bay is. And so it's going to be on my desk where it's going to be in front of me now. And that's going to be the thing. Neo Apple? I didn't see that. Cables across the room. So I have a lot of it is behind stuff, but yeah. Like there's a spot where you can see all the cables basically, because I have this stand it has stuff on it, and then the last thing, instead of putting stuff, is just all these cables hanging. So there's a lot of cables. Hopefully this makes some of that efficient. Dad knows how to solder. I had to learn. I taught myself how to solder cable. Soldering audio cable is not that bad. It's just a few different contacts. And then if you I had a cable tester. You fuck up, you either resolder, or if it's too bad, you just figure something out. So I've been able to do that. What type of work? I work in logistics, but I work from home. Who's the type of person that has gear, idiot? You can use a laptop. You don't need all this shit. Neil laptop, $600. Oh man. I might go after that. But you don't need any of this. You just use a laptop. You can just use a computer and some VSTs, which that's nothing. I also have a ton of VSTs. It's not like I don't have a lot of software stuff too. I have more sounds than I'll ever need. And this sucks. Like, okay, when I was younger, I had ideas in my head all the time. And now ideas do not. He's an electrician, so he should know, better know how to solder, right? That's pretty dope. I wish I know more about electricity. It's like a solder cable. I can't do much more. But who knows? But I used to have ideas for beats left and right, and now it's like it's a lot. I don't, my creativity has changed. Though in producing these albums or these EPs, and even these two different genre EPs, it has shown me like, okay, I still have something, right? I still can make beats, I still can put songs together. I'm excited to have the concepts for the I might do a couple of singles before I start doing more projects. After I got one more project, Potency. It could be done by now, but I'm lazy and haven't edited it. Once I edit it and send it off to the dude to mix it, and it comes back, I'm just gonna put it out as soon as possible. So we might have a project out before I move. A project might be out literally. But yeah, I didn't see this Neo app. I'm not a big Apple fan. I have a iPad. I do like that. I don't have an iPhone. I have had an Apple laptop before. I would have to see if you can code on it, because that's another. I want to be able. If I can stream from it, dope. If I can also, and I don't need to. I'm not coding too much. I'm just going to be coding video games and 2D video games. Not nothing high end. Not nothing in these Unreal 6 or whatever they're at. But I will maybe need either Unity or Godot. I've used Godot before. I was probably going to go to that. And I want to start doing games, so I'll look into that laptop and other options around that price, because that's around the range I was thinking about. I learned to solder copper piping while watching your ex's grandfather. Oh wow, that's pretty dope. Remodeled your bathroom and installed your own shower. I'm scared to paint my own room. I was just looking that up, because I was thinking of, okay, maybe I should go. Actually, talking about the studio room, maybe paint it before I move in. That's something I'm thinking about doing. And then the cable guy, he asked what I was doing, because I don't have blinds yet, and he's like, "Oh, I can install blinds." But I'm gonna install blinds myself. I didn't realize. I looked it up. That's easy as fuck. I'm not gonna pay nobody for that shit. I'm not paying nobody for that shit. You have a patch bay you need to use. Have to dual links. I'm glad somebody else has spent a lot of money on gear. I'm not the only one. Because what happens? It's not. You do this for like 10 years, and you can buy 3 to 4 pieces a year for 10 years, and all of a sudden you got 40 pieces, 30 to 40 pieces. You know what I'm saying? So you have a patch bay you need to use, dual stereo, Lexicon F. Oh, that's dope. Lexicon stuff. A couple of electrics units, filter factory, warp factory, EQ killer, filter queen, cheap graphic EQ. Okay, that's dope. That's dope. The thing is, the way these companies are moving, it's a good idea to have some hardware nowhere knowing it's. That's a very good point, man. I was thinking that I actually just got, even though they have a hardware emulation of it now, on a few cents they do have. Well, I got the Roland D50 VST. It was on sale. They have the DO5, which is because that's not an analog synth. It's a digital synth. So that's like a pretty faithful recreation of the D50, but those cost a little bit more. But they're hardware, like you said, VSTs. Sometimes they work, sometimes they don't. And Roland has already shown they had what is it? One of their VSTs of one of their old keyboards, and they got rid of it. For one of their old models, the Sound Canvas, that's what I'm thinking of. And Sound Canvas, okay, yeah, it sounds dated, but it was used for a lot of games. It was used for a lot of PS1 era games, or it was similar to the chip they use. So if you want to get that authentic sound, it's a little harder to get. Yeah, you can probably find a sample pack or something, but it's not the same. You have 80 guitar pedals. I thought I got. Maybe, I think between 50, I got over 10 for sure, and maybe around 20. But 80. I want to get some Chase Bliss stuff, but I wonder if it's overrated. Do you have any Chase Bliss pedals, and are they overrated? I keep seeing them. They cost so much. I'm like, is this rated? And we got a 6U Euro rack case, 70% full modules. I have ARP 2600, the Behringer version. And I told myself I'm not going to buy no Eurorack till I master this, and I still haven't, so I haven't bought Eurorack. So that Eurorack, I do want a Eurorack. Man, I'm sorry. I know, like I said, I've been seeing technical issues on my end, and I don't know how many of them go through. Forbidden Ruin says he has to keep refreshing the stream. Ooh, we got JP8080. That's dope. Never tried a Chase Bliss pedal. Okay. In the micro curl. So yeah, you got some heat. And you make some heat. I like some of the video game sound and stuff with the metal type drums. That's a cold little style. Man, listen, feel free to push shit out. In this day and age, everybody should be putting shit out now that it don't cost nothing to. And who knows what the future of Spotify is. Spotify's a scam. But, it don't cost nothing to push shit out on these DSPs. Mostly Boss. Boss is my favorite pedal company too. I don't have any Wazacrafts or any of the JHS mashups, which I think may also be Wazacrafts. The guy, is it JHS? He does videos and he does pedals and does amps and shit. But yeah, you got some pretty dope shit. You got dope shit. You make dope shit, like I said. So yeah, it's gonna take some time. I'm gonna be lazy about rebuilding the studio, and then my desk is not coming until like a week after I move. Like I said, I'm moving the 17th. The desk is not due to get here until like after the 22nd. So I don't know. I'll see, it'd be nice if I could see maybe pick it up. I don't know. I'll figure something out with that. Figure something out. I mostly have Boss pedal. Oh yeah, right there. See, I got plenty of equipment. I do want to get one of either the UBXA or one of the Behringer synths or the Juno. And I say that there's also they got the Moog Messenger, I think it's called. There's a few other synths, the ASM Hydra synth. I'm not gonna get all of them. I'm gonna get one of them. I can't try VCV Rack. I haven't even tried that. Thinking of the Boss Angry Driver JB2, have one. They're expensive, but it's 2 pedals in one. Yeah, I have a regular blues driver, but I don't have the Angry Driver or anything like that. With a parallel blend mode. Oh, so it's 2 pedals in one with a parallel blend. Okay, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. I thought, didn't they do a couple of different type of pedals like that? Yeah, the Angry Driver is one of them, and I think there's a couple of them. And then like the Wazacraft is when they do a remix version. Though sometimes I know I want to get, I can't remember which course because they have a few different course pedals. I wanted to get one of the made in Japan ones. They used to not be that expensive, but I never went and got one off of eBay. Sometimes you can find cool stuff off eBay. But all right, guys, we've been close to 3 hours. It's a combo of the Blues Driver 2 and a JHS Angry Charlie. I see. So, all right, guys, it's been real. It's been fun. It's been real fun. We get close to 3 hours. I got to stream more early because that's how I get you guys actually. Oh, hey, Low Spec. Okay, we got it short, so we've extended life. Oh, yeah, we got to play this. That's right. Hold on. Let's play this, and then we'll wrap it up. I like the sample at the beginning. I thought you was gonna like loop that shit at the beginning. All right, it sounds a great start. You've been over on Twitch. Oh man, sorry if you've been. I am so sorry, Low Spec, man. I'm so used to not having an audience on Twitch and Kick, and then Kick wasn't even working. So I'm sorry, bro. I'm sorry. I mean, shit. We've been talking about a bunch of crazy shit. It's been a crazy episode. I'm drained. I'm tired. I'm gonna try to get some sleep. Daughter's gonna add more sample. Okay, well, that's cool. It's always cool. Shout out to working with your kids, working with music. That's dope. Super dope. So yeah, man, keep doing it. Keep doing it. So yeah, I'm gonna try to go back to Lee Street. It'll be night, but 9 or 10, because get a few more people. You left the plantation, the screw tube exploitation ghetto. It's not a bad thing to leave, man, because YouTube. It ain't growing nobody. It ain't doing nothing. Only God knows how to even keep a YouTube going. But in any event, we're not going to keep this stream going. Like I said, I'm tired. It's been real. It's been fun. It's been real fun. If you like the video, please like the video. If you're so obliged to share and subscribe, please do that. Even if you did none of these things, all you did was watch. Thank you for watching. Thank you for your time. Good night and God bless. Scramble said that was all just a JP8080 super saw plus a micro core for bass and a Korg on the lead. I see. Dope stuff. Dope stuff. All right. I love music. I love this stuff. Hopefully we got a drop in the next couple weeks. Talk to you all later. Peace.